right. Mike is hot. Mike is hot.
I'm hot right now. There's 55 people in this fucking room. All right, let's get it going, guys. Here we go. I'm going to go to start it off with this. The most people we've ever had on the show, so we're going to do it right now. We're going to start off. She's a business owner. She's been on MTV. She is a dog mom. She brought her dog here with us. This is Allie Adams. Hey, welcome, Allie. We can get the shot right there of Allie.
And Penny, the amazing wonder dog.
There you go. Can we get Penny on the screen? Hey, everybody over there, can you guys all move to your left? Move it all towards Ashley as much as you can. Move it more towards Ashley as you can. Beautiful. Okay, number 2, well, she's a model. She's a fitness influencer. It is Stephanie. How you doing, Stephanie?
Good. How are you?
Beautiful.
She's also high as fuck.
She is. He's a financial expert. He's the host of Valuetainment Money. The co-host of the PBD podcast is Adam Sosnick. How you doing, Adam?
Good to be with Rolo and Michael in Vegas. And Troy.
Finally.
There we go.
Got you here.
She's a bottle service girl, former bottle service girl. She works in a mine right now, 1,000 feet below the ground. It's Ashley. How you doing, Ashley?
Hey, y'all.
Oh, my God.
Nice.
What other show has chicks that work in a mine?
In a mine. There we go.
No one.
Congrats.
Nice. She's a DJ. She's a bottle service at the M Resorts at Hillary. How you doing, Hillary?
Good.
Don't be nervous, Hillary. There's nothing to be nervous about. There's nothing to be nervous about, Hillary. And she's an international mattress actress. Did I say that correctly? She's from America's Penis. What is America's Penis? Oh, the state of Florida.
Florida.
And that is Tiffany Fox. How you doing, Tiffany?
What is a mattress actress?
Yeah, what is
a porn star?
Yeah.
There you go.
Or it can be Stanley's sleep number.
There we go.
Purple.
You do your work on a mattress. Got it.
She owns a beauty. She's over here right by the dog as well. She owns a beauty salon and a nonprofit organizer. This is Kirsten. How you doing, Kirsten?
I'm doing well.
Awesome. Can you talk in the microphone real quick? You guys, Jen, could you help her out?
You guys got to split.
Beautiful. She's an actress, a writer, a podcaster. It is Jen on the block with Jen. How's it going, Jen?
Really, really good. On the block with Jen. It's not Jen on the block. It is on the block with Jen.
Because Jen's not selling crack. If Jen was on the block, she'd be selling crack.
Not anymore.
But she's on the block with Jen. She's a real estate developer's on the block.
Stop bringing up
if
my
you're
past,
Jen
Michael.
on the block, then she's a crack dealer. There we go. Nice.
You're the Vegas version of J-Lo.
There we go. Nice.
You J-Ho out here.
There we go.
Could he still?
Oh, my bad.
No,
Could he still get any crack?
Here
Just for later in the show?
No, we're going to need some in a little bit.
Exactly.
But I got a plug.
Okay, cool.
And his
We'll
plug,
talk later.
and her plug is right next to him. It's a dating coach, a red pill content creator. It's Mr. Troy Francis. How you doing, Troy?
Very good, Michael.
Original member of Rule Zero.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for having me. Great to be here. Loving Vegas so far. I was in Miami before. That's why I'm dressed like a pimp. And yeah,
There we go, man. She is a viral content creator and an exotic dancer. It's Miss Aria. How you doing, Aria?
There we go.
Michael.
Hey, good to have you. Beautiful. And
Hey, Michael.
I don't know what I did to deserve that.
That's the kind of
I appreciate that.
That's
Thank
the
you so
kind of
much.
hey that she's met you before.
There you go. She has met me before.
Hey again, Michael.
She's what are you, like a 23-time Playmate at this point? Something like that. She is a 23-time Playboy cover model. Maybe 15, maybe 10.
Exaggerating.
And she's the host of Inside OnlyFans, and she's my BFF. This is CJ Sparks. How you doing, CJ?
Woo, hi. Happy to be
Is this your birthday weekend?
August 16th.
August 16th.
Ish.
Okay, ish. All right, got it. Okay, beautiful. And then also she's a bottle server at Tao Beach. She's also a model here in Las Vegas. It is Michelle Brittany Martin. How do you doing, Michelle?
Yeah, Michelle.
Nice.
Hey.
All right, we got everybody here. Good. We got the intro. I had to get through that really quick. There's some technical stuff we had to go through. All right, real quick. Did you have anything you want to start off with?
No. I just wanted to let everybody know that we will be doing this show today being the 10th, and then we're going to do this back-to-back. So the 17th will be the next time we're doing this as well.
Yeah, so we're doing next week.
And you have something going on the following week.
So the reason why we're doing back-to-back is
I think I have something to do, too.
The 24th is going to be Babes in Toyland. We're going to do that to support the Foster Friday Foundation. It's an animal rescue charity we're going to be doing on the 24th. And the 25th of August is going to be the final Girls of Summer Bikini Competition prelim over at Wet Republic. The winner of that, we're giving away $13,500 on that day, and then $16,000 on September 8th, which will be the final. So if you guys are interested in coming to that, you can please let us know if you or someone you know wants to enter into that bikini competition. So I did something for Rolo. I watched Barbie last night because I wanted to be able to
better judgment.
because I wanted to review it, and I went into this thing thinking, because my girlfriend hated it, that I was going to hate it, and there were some moments that are funny. Like, I'm not going to lie, like I really thought Will Ferrell was actually funny. I think Margot Robbie's a fantastic actress, but there were some parts of the movie that actually frightened me, like legitimately frightened me. I was wondering what do you think about it? I know you did a whole podcast.
I did an entire. It's not. I did an entire show on it, and I got a bootleg copy of it, so I would not pay for this. So. But
Shout out to Hindi. Shout out to the
exactly.
Hindi copies.
Yes, thank you very much. No, I mean I broke it down. I hate to actually have to do reviews on movies, stuff like this, because it always sounds like I'm getting like way too involved. Well, you're taking this really, really seriously, and it's like, well, I am. But I'm also have to look at it from like sort of a cultural narrative on top of everything.
Well, it's kind of your job, isn't it? I mean, it's a little bit.
God, yeah. Unfortunately, yes, it is. Yeah, it is. And I was just going to say, I thought it was. I think some people were trying to read more into it than actually was there. The entirety of it was really sort of this statement on, I want to say like the war of the sexes, more or less. Mm-hmm. And you've got like, I don't know who, spoiler, I'm going to spoil Barbie for you right now. Sorry. So I'm going to spoil the thing for you. So the fact was, it was Ryan Gosling, right? He's plays Ken. So you've got like the Kens and the Barbies, and the entire movie is more or less premised on just sort of this battle of the sexes, and it just, all it does is play up, just cultural stereotypes, and really, I think, kind of encourages more adversarialness between men and women as a result of that.
Well, I'll go over that.
I'll actually read something to you here in just a second.
Okay, yeah. Ladies, who here watched the movie? Who did? What do you think about it, Ashley?
I thought it was good, but so did you hear that whole thing that was going on lately, where young girls were breaking up with their boyfriends because of the Barbie movie?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because why?
They're breaking up with their boyfriends because of the Barbie movie.
Yeah.
What were the reasons why?
Well,
the patriarchy.
The patriarchy.
Okay.
And then like women need to be like more like single and separated, and then the men need to find themselves because they don't know themselves, and they define themselves based off of Barbie and the whole ordeal.
Because that was Ken's fault, right? Ken wasn't created to be like, it's Ken's fault that he has to define himself on Barbie.
Yeah.
It's
So
fucking.
I thought it was entertaining, yes, and I thought it, but at the same
I
time,
thought Will Ferrell was really funny.
yeah, I think there was definitely a lot of funny parts, but it was ridiculous, and the fans that went to go see it were just outrageous. Like my whole, like, I went to the actual movies to go see it.
Yeah.
I went by myself, and like I had like people like dressed up in all pink. All the boyfriends were there. All their gay friends, everything.
Pink as well? Were the guys dressed in pink?
Yes,
Yeah,
they were all dressed in pink.
That's how men get laid now. Is they virtue
it was
it's
wild.
It's called virtue signaling pity sex.
And then
I'm gonna make a shirt. Virtue.
At the bar, they had like a Barbie drink, and the guy was telling me that they were selling out of alcohol because of this Barbie drink, and everybody was in there with this crazy Barbie drink.
It's been incredibly commercially successful, hasn't it?
Yes.
Because it's tapped into what Michael's talking
$1 billion.
about.
It's a
brand, it's a thing.
Pretty
what I
much.
was talking about, which is basically capitalizing effectively on this war between the sexes, right?
Well, it's capitalizing on a movie that's anti-capitalist, but it's capitalism.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah,
you guys understand? Like that's how there's so many levels of irony to this whole thing.
Did you see what they did when it comes to like how they promoted it? They promoted it so well on TikTok that they got guys to go and make TikToks about them wearing pink and going to go see Barbie to make it socially acceptable for men at our age to go see Barbie. So they did all these TikToks with like young black guys and these like white guys that dress up in all like pink with pink Barbie backpacks, and they're like singing "I'm a Barbie boy in a Barbie world."
There you go. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That we're right headed. Book of Revelation, chapter whatever the fuck. That's where we're going. Any other guys? I'm sure some of you have maybe have a positive review. Does anybody? I don't want you to feel afraid to like. Did anybody see the movie and you enjoyed it? Like, I'm trying to be as positive. I tried to be as positive.
Can I read you my daughter?
Go ahead.
My daughter. The reason I even did this stupid video, I'm almost ashamed. I gotta get take a shower after this kind of thing. But my daughter said, "Don't see the Barbie movie." I'm like, okay, now I'm going to see the Barbie movie because you just said don't see it. She says, do not see the Barbie movie. I was crying afterwards because of how bad a stupid woke ass society ruined it. It was so incredibly over the top, in your face, woke, man hating. Like there was absolutely, this is all like one run on sentence here. Like there was absolutely no denying it was man hating. Literally in the movie, the Barbie plan is to emotionally manipulate men to turn them against each other so women can take over. Like word for word, they said exactly that. They said they tried to blind you to with the bright colors and the aesthetics so that you think it's innocent.
Yeah.
Also, the opening scene of the little girls smashing baby dolls' heads, and they call the pregnant Barbie weird. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
I hope all the woke people stop populating since they want to stop motherhood. There's not any plot, and there's no point where they they make the Barbie suicidal. Worst movie ever. I'm so
At the beginning, it's on a spoiler.
I'm just so angry because it's not what Barbie really is, because she used to have Barbies, when she was a kid, right? And I want to throw away all my Barbie attire.
Oh, that's the one for your daughter.
I was like, damn, I guess I got to do a...
She's definitely your daughter, Rollo. She's definitely your daughter.
Anybody else see it?
Yeah.
What do you think, Adam?
Well, I went with the lovely Sydney.
Sydney, yes.
And of the two of us, I was like, we got to go see the Barbie movie.
Yeah.
And she's like, literally looks like Barbie. You met her last night. She's like, okay. But I wanted to get it for the cultural narrative that's going on here.
There was so much,
I don't see movies.
There was so much meta stuff going on in here. Like, there's so many layers to it. Yeah.
For me, it's sort of indicative of where we're at right now, is that the politicization of everything. COVID, vaccine, this, politics, politicization. And for me, the biggest takeaway, and you guys can chime in, is I think they said the word patriarchy like a dozen times.
Yeah, maybe more.
So if you didn't know what the fucking patriarchy was before this, you're Googling after the movie. And for me, the whole thing with the patriarchy, and women talk about this. No guys like, it's the patriarchy, bro. It's all women. And it is the epitome of victim mentality.
Yes.
Yeah. Today in society, you're winning if you're a victim. Oh, I'm the trans victim. I'm the gay victim. I'm the black victim. I'm the illegal alien victim. Okay, whatever you want to call it.
Victimizing men by women, victimizing.
I'm gonna victimize you if you speak in front of me again. So the problem is you're just encouraging victimhood, and the problem in America today is you're not encouraging actual leaders and heroes. We've neglected the hero-making machine. Men who have built the roads, who have built companies, who have built America, are looked at as the patriarchy. How dare you build this amazing country? And then the mothers.
But in Barbie, the women did the work.
No women built this country, just men.
But
there were two instances.
Did anyone come here not from their mother's vagina?
There were two instances in the movie where they make
hating on mothers.
But men never built Barbie Land. It's women that built Barbie Land.
Which is not real.
Yeah, of course.
But the point is, the ultimate irony. The ultimate irony is it was a set on a movie. It was a movie set built by men sitting there to denigrate men. Like, that was the ultimate irony, and it was also produced by Warner Brothers. That was also run by men. Now here's the thing. I'm going to bring up a couple of things, and I'm not. So first off, if they had just stuck with parody, I would have been fine with all of it. As long as it was funny, I don't give a fuck. It's not like if you watch Idiocracy. If you watch Idiocracy, all stupid people should be offended by that movie, but they're not, because they don't think it's talking about them. And the movie's funny, even though there's a lot of dumb people who should watch Idiocracy and be like, "Wait, that's me. I'm that stupid." Right? So the thing is with this movie, if they started funny, and I was like, as long as they stay funny, I'm cool with this. And there's this point in the middle. Do you remember where the mother starts giving that speech about we're blamed for everything?
I have the speech for you if you want to.
We're blamed for everything. Is our fault. And I was looking at Rollo, and I was like, man, that Ukraine war, man, that's the women's fault.
Exactly.
Fuck, man, I was just blaming them for that, bro.
Meanwhile, it's the men fucking dying in Ukraine.
Okay, hold on. But I want to point out the movie. What it does is it's funny, and then there's these like 2 or 3 points where the laugh track stops, and then here comes progressive narrative, and it's like, that wasn't cool because you were funny and you're marketing to kids, and now you go completely serious, and now we're full on progressive narrative, and then we go back to funny. But funny is always making fun of Ryan Gosling. That's what funny is. Now I will give some kudos. They do make fun of irrationality and emotions with women, so that's fine as long as they make fun of themselves a little bit. I was fine with that. And like I said, like, Margot Robbie is a fucking national treasure. She's a fantastic actress. But in this movie, like, there was certain points where they're like yelling at her, and you can kind of see like the juxtaposition. I enjoyed the part where she meets the teenage girl, and the teenage girl's like, "No, you're the fucking problem," and she's like, "No, I'm just trying to help you." And I enjoyed that, because that's actually the real part, but the feminists don't see it. That was actually real life, but they don't grasp that part. Anyway, go. But what were you saying?
You're talking about the part
where read that?
Where America Ferrera,
please,
so it was her daughter that hated Barbie.
Yes,
right.
She's like, "You're the reason that's wrong with feminism," basically.
Yeah.
So I'll try to read it fast because really quick. She goes, "It's literally impossible to be a woman. You are so beautiful and you're so smart, and it kills me that you don't think you're good enough. Like, we have to always be extraordinary, but somehow we're always doing it wrong. Ladies, take note. You have to always be extraordinary. All right. If we don't love you at your worst, we don't deserve you at your best. You know this. You have to be thin, but not too thin. You can never say that you want to be thin. You have to say you want to be healthy, but you have to be thin. You have to have money, but you can't ask for money because that's crass. You have to be a boss, but you can't be mean. You have to lead, but you can't squash other people's ideas. You're supposed to love being a mother, but you don't want to talk about your kids all the damn time. You have to be a career woman that always say that you're looking out for other people. You have to answer for men's bad behavior, which is insane. Why do you have to answer for men's bad behavior? But
I can explain that.
But if you point that out, you're accused of complaining. It sounds like that. You're supposed to stay pretty for men, but not so pretty that you tempt too much for that. You threaten other women because you're supposed to be part of the sisterhood.
A lot of this stuff comes from other women, though. Yeah. That's the fucking ridiculous thing.
Exactly.
Like, a lot of these strictures, this isn't men. This is other women.
I totally.
Time out. Finish, Adam. Finish.
There's two more sentences. But always stand out and be grateful. Never forget that the system is rigged. Hello, the system is rigged. Okay. So we find a way to acknowledge, but also be grateful. You have to never get old, never be rude, never show off, never be selfish, never fall down, never fall, never show fear, never get out of line. Here's the coup de grace. It's just too damn hard. It's too contradictory. Nobody gives you a medal or says thank you. What? And it turns out, in fact, that not only are you everything wrong, but you're also everything is your fault. I'm just so tired of victim mentality here. Yeah. Hello, guys. I'm just so tired of watching myself and every other single woman here tie herself to knots so that people will like us. And all of that is also true for a doll, just representing women.
Okay, so I just want to point this out. For those of you who didn't see the movie, all the funny stops when that starts.
Correct.
And she goes through that whole tirade. And that tirade is now a special set of words that she uses to deconstruct the patriarchy out of these women's mind. So basically, they're all being hypnotized. So you wanting to do things for your husband, like, for instance, give him a back massage or bring him a beer, you would only do that, according to this movie, because of a patriarchy. You could never want to do that because you want to make your man happy. That's impossible.
The Kens randomly took control.
And in order to dehypnotize you, she makes that statement, and the women go, "Oh my God, what am I doing here? I'm a Supreme Court justice." They do that several times. Now I'm going to bring up this, okay? So the first thing is, throughout the entire movie, masculinity is over-exaggerated, and it's always seen as a cope for insecurity. Meaning every single function of masculinity in the movie, like, so for instance, if you were to take Ryan Gosling, he's a really good-looking guy. In the movie, he's fucking jacked. He got ridiculously ripped for this movie. He's definitely he's taking something, right? He is jacked in this movie.
Sure.
And when he does so, the whole time, he's popular, he's funny, there's all these things going on, but all of it, his popularity, his abs, every single thing he does is a cope for his personal insecurities, and in some cases, they hint to this, closet homosexuality. That's the only thing. There's literally no other reason. Meaning his masculinity serves absolutely no purpose other than a cope and a hiding mechanism for the true femininity that he should feel in order to cope, in order to love Barbie, to garner acceptance for Barbie. Does it make sense? Okay.
What do you think was the biggest point where he was the biggest simp beta guy?
At the end, when he tries to kiss her, and at the very end,
when he just sits like this.
Okay, so here's the thing:
waiting for her, and she's like, "Yeah, I'm good."
Yeah, no. So here's the second thing. This is the part personally that offended me the most. Ready? So Barbie even admits this. She goes, "I'm sorry, I took you for granted." Do you guys remember this? Yeah. So now a man. Just consider if you guys have a brother or a son. He's dating a woman. He's dating a woman who is clearly disrespecting him, putting him in the friend zone. Like, "Oh, you're my boyfriend, but we don't have sex." Just totally disrespecting him. And God forbid this man chooses to set a boundary and go change himself. So basically,
you can't respect a man unless you're having sex with him.
Well, no. In this case, but here's the thing: she shouldn't say that's my boyfriend.
No,
she shouldn't say that's my boyfriend.
But also,
she shouldn't say that's my boyfriend.
He even wanted to hang out with her, and she's like, "No, it's girls' night every single night."
It's girls' night every night. And by the way, Kirsten, when you watch the movie, she admits that she's wrong for this. There's like a very small apology at the very end. But my point is, additionally, so a woman has now disrespected her boyfriend, and he chooses to make changes in his life, and that is additionally because of insecurity. No, that is exactly what every man watching this should do. If you are in a situation where somebody is crossing your boundaries, you should leave the situation, and it's not out of insecurity, it's out of your own necessity for self-worth. Your own self-worth. So Ken, now obviously he acts ridiculous in the show. He's like dancing and doing all this crazy shit. But him deciding to leave Barbie and go on his own to do his own journey, that was not the wrong answer. It was the right answer. Yeah. But he was made fun of and criticized. And in the end, he was this little stupid boy for trying to do this whole thing where he goes off and he tries to take over the world. He goes, "Yeah, patriarchy, bro." By the way, the way he said patriarchy made me laugh a couple times. He goes, "Yo, patriarchy's great. Patriarchy's great." It was pretty funny. I thought patriarchy
when he
was about
goes
horses.
to the real world for the first his time and he sees Sylvester Stallone and
He's like,
George
men
Washington.
run. It's like
He's
men
what?
run everything.
Men actually run the world. What's happening here?
Yeah.
But
By the way,
it's
it seems like it's a cultural tool to undercut masculinity or any guy's ability to have autonomy for himself.
It's
because if anything you do, if anything,
Kirsten, can you grab the mic and get closer to you real quick, Jen? Can you share that with
because if anything you do, if anything you do gets put down to this is just a cope, this is just you being insecure, then it means that the guy has no autonomy. The reason though it's so massively popular is because women, generally speaking, buy the tickets. Women sort of control the expenditure, right? I mean, they played a
mostly women bought it.
No. They played a cultural blinder here, but I don't believe that this is ideologically driven. I think that they made the movie to make a bucket load of cash because they knew it was in line with the zeitgeist.
Okay, so Kirsten, go ahead. What were you saying?
It's just, why is it so popular?
Kirsten, why is Transformers popular? Because it's real? Is it because it's real? Why is that why Transformers?
People like the action and the fighting.
Huh?
So the storyline is why it's popular.
No, it's popular because it's in line with the cultural fashion, which is to denigrate men at the expense of women, and so a lot of people buy into that. A lot of women buy into that.
Let me jump in here.
Go ahead, Jen. Go ahead.
Okay, you said that victims are winning. If you're a victim, you're winning. I've never seen men be more victims.
Yeah, we are. No
one disagrees with you.
In the past couple years,
no one disagrees with you. I agree with you.
Men are whining and crying and belly aching online about women. Why are we ignoring that?
Who are those men? Who are those men, though?
And you said, hold on. And you said if you had a son or a boyfriend or whatever, I would slap my son in the back of the head if he was this involved in Barbie.
What do you mean?
I would slap. No man should be this involved in a movie that's
agreed.
It's satire.
He didn't see the movie.
It's satire about fucking toys.
Okay, so here's the problem.
You guys lost your shit.
No.
Jen, here's the problem. It's not.
What do you mean? You'd get upset with your son if he saw the movie or if he was playing with Barbies? Those are two separate things.
I would be upset if he was this emotional over a movie about toys and satire.
I'm caffeinated. I'm not emotional.
We're on a podcast.
I said Will Ferrell was funny. I didn't.
I'm sure.
How about this? You're a podcaster, right?
Yes, I am.
Hey guys, you ever see the movie Barbie? Yeah. All right. What are your thoughts? No, I don't want to talk about it.
Would that have been better, Jen?
We're talking about the movie. Baby.
I know, but you're exaggerating, baby. You're exaggerating.
What am I exaggerating?
Look. I come from a background.
It's a bit of a cope, isn't it?
I come from a background where my father would walk in and he wouldn't get into the affairs of women. These new men, these modern men.
It's big dick syndrome.
You suck.
Okay, Jen,
do you have a
You've turned into. Can I curse? You've turned into a bunch of bitches at a salon. I don't even. Let me say. I'll land the plane here. I don't recognize this masculinity. It looks very much like what we do in
But
the
it's a cope to say that it's just a movie. It's just a.
That is such a Jen. You didn't even Jen. I got two problems for you. Jen, do you have an issue with the whole idea of if you have children that them being gender reaffirming care where they're being suggested to go and have surgery and change their gender when they're like 9 or 8 years old? Do you have an issue with that? That is crazy.
Yes.
So trying to indoctrinate young kids is crazy.
Yes.
However,
I don't think
you think. Hold on. Well, the majority. It's a PG movie.
No, they did a whole movement. Like
it's
where
a PG movie.
Little girls are breaking up with their boyfriends.
PG-13.
There's no cussing. How's it PG-13?
I think it is PG-13.
But hold on. Here's the problem. There's no.
Are you a man hater?
You know what? I would be that.
Well, I don't know. You sound like you're making. You're saying that no man is good enough.
No, I never said no man is good enough.
These days,
all men these days are men are bitches.
No, I didn't say that.
I will roll the tape back.
Don't misquote me. We're not on tape. This is video. But don't misquote me. I am obsessed. Okay, I hate simps. I hate punks. I hate men that are neck deep in women's issues. Like you're sitting next to me and
yeah, but women can have bigger dick than men too. Though.
I am obsessed with masculine men. What I'm seeing today is 10 years ago, if you would have told me that men would be bitching, moaning, and crying about Barbie, I'd be like, no, that's never going to happen.
Okay, but why are we talking about Barbie? Go deeper. You're a smart lady.
About Ken too.
Go deeper. We're not talking about we like playing with dolls. We're talking about cultural narratives and what's happening in America.
Yeah,
you're smart enough to recognize that, right?
But here's the thing. The reason why this cultural narrative, you're being biased, the reason why this cultural narrative seems to tickle your butthole is because it's women acting in power.
No, it's not. Stop. Everybody. Hold on. Jen, at no point did I ever complain about women acting empowered in this movie. My issue was that men are treated like fucking farm animals in this fucking movie for kids.
Can I drop
that
one?
was my issue.
Let me drop one more thing here too, because I stand fucking vindicated at the end of this movie because they used the word superfluous in this movie. Men are superfluous.
Wow.
Dr. Phil, look it up in the fucking dictionary.
The one time that we're talking shit about men, now it's a huge thing.
No, that's fine.
Men have shit talked on them 24/7.
No, but so the reason, so more to your point.
This also isn't a kids movie.
Yeah, I know that. That's true. That is
100% a kids movie.
But Morty,
500% a kids movie.
To your point.
The only time it got really funny when we were
young women.
1,000%.
Let me direct traffic here for 1 second, okay?
Have you seen the movie?
No.
So you can't even talk. Why are you talking?
Because I feel like
But you haven't seen the movie.
I don't care.
Right. Typical woman.
I've heard you. Typical man. Typical
Let me tell you something.
Already there.
Let me tell you something.
Let's go.
If I didn't see the movie, I would shut my fucking mouth.
Well, that's you.
Okay, exactly. Because I have respect.
Everybody quiet.
Wait.
Roll time.
Hold on.
I've heard you guys belly aching for weeks.
All right, Puerto Rican, be quiet.
Some girls
Men are
do have
speaking.
bigger
All
dicks
right.
than
Here's the thing.
men.
Here's the thing. The reason why I made a big deal out of the word superfluous because
Guys, time out. Everybody be quiet.
When I was on Dr. Phil, I mentioned that. I said, "Hey, look, you're being I'm on the second show. Actually, I said you're superfluous. You are actually an embodiment of what I was saying." When I got into that part, it was exactly what they were talking about in the Barbie movie. We have made men superfluous. They're nice to have around, but we don't need them. Every last time, on your show, on whatever podcast, on this show, on Fresh and Fit, I hear the same damn thing. I don't need a man, but I want a man. That movie was the narrative of that movie. The theme of that movie is they're nice to have around, but we don't actually need them.
Which is
But
men are superfluous.
Then why does reality? But now you're talking about reality. That is the reality. We want you, but we don't need you anymore. That's reality.
I need a man.
You're coping badly with that.
No, Jen,
I need a man who can take
CJ, go. CJ, go ahead.
Go, CJ.
I was just saying I need a man. I don't.
Most definitely.
Good for you,
and also,
CJ.
I'm not.
Good luck.
Thank you so much.
Anyone in the chat?
Yeah.
But also, I want to bring up too. Like, I want to be a mom someday. What if I have a son? I don't want my son being like listening to all of this and being treated like.
Now, why do you want to be a mom, CJ? Let CJ talk.
CJ, go ahead.
Yeah, mom's a
Why do you want to be a mom?
I just do. I had a mom growing up, so I would like to be a mom. I haven't really thought about it that much. I don't feel like it's.
How old are you,
How's that
CJ?
feeling?
I'm going to be 38 in August.
So
16th,
what do you mean you
25
haven't
days.
thought about being a mom? You're 38. Of course you've thought about it.
Okay, so I have thought about being a mom. I
Yeah.
haven't thought that much as to why. It just feels
Okay.
natural.
At what age did you start
Maternal
feeling that?
maternal
I'm
instinct.
not really like thinking.
What age did you start to feel that natural instinct?
Honestly, probably
32.
about 5 years ago.
Why did it take so long, CJ? You're a
Because I
gorgeous
only
girl.
got sober about 4.5
Los
years ago.
Angeles.
And I always felt
LA.
like I could never take care
the
of
drinking.
a houseplant.
Were you an alcoholic?
So now that I can, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
CJ.
I still identify as an alcoholic.
CJ.
Are you sober now?
I am. I go to meetings.
Are you afraid of?
CJ?
CJ?
Yes.
CJ.
Friend of Bill?
Friend of Bill, yes. Really?
Friend of Bill.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
CJ, let me just say one thing. Number one, you're a hot ass big bird. That's just straight up without the Good for you.
I'm glad we got that out of the way.
But I'm not picking on you because I'm proud
I
of you.
don't feel picked on.
Cool, but I haven't said what I had to say yet.
Fabulous. Have at it.
I feel like I
Nothing
wish
I haven't heard
that you
before.
would have had that epiphany phase 10 years ago.
I wish I would have as well.
Yeah.
Thank you for
so,
wishing
and I
that.
think that it's
Epiphany phase.
I think it's
Yeah.
incumbent on
I've
you
read
to
the
tell
book.
more
man.
women why they should have that epiphany phase at 27, 26, 24, 28,
You can't
not
tell
38.
somebody
It's not too late for her.
Why can't I tell anybody that?
that they need to have an epiphany?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean,
How old are you?
But to have kids,
Okay, time to have the
but
epiphany.
to have kids, you're
Can
geriatric
I
after
wanna go back-
35.
Yeah.
Correct.
I want to go
think
back to what Michael said because
No,
Michael
35.
was talking about indoctrination. I want to go back to something Michael said. Why is it that you feel like this movie will indoctrinate the sons and the boys and whatever? But when you watch John Wick, you watch Terminator, you watch all all these films where these guys got big guns and they're running around, mass shootings. You're not afraid that your son's going to be indoctrinated to violence.
Time out. Let me answer. She asked me. I'm not afraid. I want my son to be very comfortable with firearms. That is going to be one of the first things that I teach him, how to responsibly use firearms. Now, in that case, is it exceedingly? Okay, here's the difference. In John Wick, I always know it's John Wick. I always know that's actually Keanu Reeves. In this movie, it's a parody. And you haven't seen it yet, Jen, until
I've seen a lot of clips.
Okay, but it's a parody until there's a point where it's not a parody anymore. Now it's a shut the fuck up, little girls, and listen to what I'm about to say. You're about to be blamed for everything. I woke up this morning, I was like, man, inflation's at 3%. These fucking women. That's all I could think. It's ridiculous.
The matriarchy.
There's a
Janet Yellen.
The point is,
the movie teaches, you can say, like, something's not a big deal. Like, remember, Andrew Tate wasn't a big deal to a lot of people till he was a big deal because he got huge. This movie's not a big deal till it is a big deal, till it's the #1 movie in the country. And then we get to a point where, like, there is indoctrination. It is indoctrination specifically aimed at children. And I don't have a single problem with all the women being doctors and lawyers. That's all great. I have no issue with that. I do have an issue with things. There's with two things. Number one, the pregnant Barbie got horribly made fun of twice in the movie. Do you remember that? That Will Ferrell sees the pregnant Barbie. He's like, ooh, what the fuck is that? It's hilarious. It was so funny because pregnant Barbie was completely. She was a joke that sort of followed through the entire movie.
But remember Weird Barbie too?
Yeah, exactly.
But I'm curious because I want to understand the panic. I really
no, it's not panic.
What do you think is going to happen to little boys? They're going to watch Barbie
it's a strengthening of a cultural narrative. It's a strengthening of a cultural narrative that is already out there.
Can do it too.
And it's the biggest grossing. Movie in the world.
Our issues are all different, Jen. I absolutely have no problem. Like, if a woman wants to be an astronaut, that's totally awesome. I have no issue with that. Some astrophysicist, whatever. But my issue, what happens then is that you make fun of the girl who's pregnant, and then additionally, what happens is a man and women are going to get into a discussion, maybe in high school, maybe in college. And what happens is when a man says, "I feel like doing this because I'm attracted to women and I want to work hard for my family," this movie adds to a narrative where he is now. Wait, it's like, oh, you want to work hard and take care of your family and have guns? Oh, I watched that Barbie movie. That's a cope. That's your masculinity hiding your insecurity. No, this world is full. This world is created. All these walls, everything in this society was created by violent fucking men who are willing to kill other violent men in order to conquer a territory, to provide a safe space for the women and children in their lives. That is the reality of the situation. They built these things, and men competed with other men. Do you understand? Women don't have as much testosterone as men in general. It's about 17 times more.
Damn right.
It's about 17 times more testosterone that men have as opposed to women. And so we are more competitive and we are more assertive, and those things are not copes. That's how we survive. That's why there's 400,000 elephants on the planet and 8 billion humans. We fucking won. That's why it happened. And so we don't need to shame those things that made us survive as a species. They're not copes. It's not secretly that, oh my God, I cry at home because I want acceptance from women and that's the reason why I went to the gym. It's not. I went to the gym so that my family never has to want for shit. My mom, my fucking nieces and nephews and cousins, they can go to any Ivy League school they want. They will never have to worry about shit because I work my ass off. It is not for the validation of women. And so because of that, my masculinity is now being shamed, and everything I'm doing is a cope. That's why I'm doing all this stuff. No, it isn't. I have 22 people who work for me. Those people, they get to feed their families as well because I'm willing to work my fucking ass off. And that entire movie was them shaming. Now, I'm not a victim because fuck them. I'm still going to be a millionaire. I don't give a shit what they write on that movie. That's not my issue. My issue is now we have a whole group of young people have been told to push the victim button whenever they have a problem. That wasn't kind of victim. That wasn't sort of victim. That was full on a diatribe. That was, you could quote America. What's her last name? America Ferrari. It was nothing but victim mentality. And so that's the problem. No one will make me a victim.
Making women the victims or men the victims?
Making women the victims.
Can I answer your question?
Hold on. But before you go, men cannot be victims. In this world, in Barbie world, men can never be a victim. And that's the issue. Go ahead.
In the movie.
So I want to answer your question directly and respectfully. Ask your question again.
What question?
You just asked a question 1 minute ago.
The one that you did to Michael.
Was the question you asked? You don't remember the question you just
relax,
asked?
Sir.
You said
I don't do coke, so you gotta relax. We gotta speak the same pace, okay?
You don't do coke or coke?
I don't do coke, so we have to.
All right, hold on. Go ahead, Tiff.
I've been trying to say something, but with the feminization of men.
Yeah.
The reason why they want to feminize men because there's a video I saw with a Russian guy. He talked about demoralization of a nation to normalization, and it's attacked in a book by it's in The Art of War by Sun Tzu. They talk about demoralizing people to normalize it, and that's divide and conquering. So when you feminize men, that's going to be who's going to be defending your homeland and your country. So when you have a bunch of bitch boys men that play the victim card and all this other stuff because that's what society's trying to do, you're not going to have men be the forefront of protecting us and having our freedom. That's why they're trying to go after people like Andrew Tate, because Andrew Tate is trying to make a man embrace his masculinity. So wait, hold on, sweetie. I've been trying to talk. And I'm trying to be the woman that's on the men's side about this.
Go ahead, Tiff.
So pretty much these men.
She's a pick me. Okay, fine.
No, keep going. These men
are trying to respectfully talk to you, and you're the one that's getting offended.
No, Jen can say whatever she wants. I have no problem with this.
I'm not offended
Keep going,
at all.
Jen.
I'm not offended.
But the thing is, it's like it's all in the programming. They're trying to demoralize us. They're trying to make us little bitches because the government is trying to take over. We have a really big government, if you haven't noticed. Our country used to be a very small government back when it was formed. It has gotten bigger and bigger and bigger. So the government is pretty much putting us in the agenda to make us little bitches. That's why, feminism is dead. I don't think we need feminism. Feminism now is for the trans community. It's not for women anymore.
Absolutely.
It's not for women.
The question that I always ask when I'm on these shows and there's feminist girls on there, I always say to them, so hasn't equality already been achieved, right? Like, how much more do we need to go?
I can try.
And the reality,
I feel like I'm more of a man than a woman.
And the reality of this movement.
Go ahead, Troy.
The reality of this movie.
Hey guys, one at a time.
One at a time.
Troy's talking.
The reality of this movie is that if equality's already more or less been achieved, and I think most of us probably would agree with that. I know that I've got some female friends who wouldn't agree with that, but I think most of us probably would. This movie is driving it even further nail into the coffin against masculinity. Like, it's going even further. Like, how much further do you want to go?
That's what the woke people want to do. That's what the woke want to do. They want to take a man's masculinity away.
Now, whether it's a deliberate sort of strategy,
Kirsten,
like
you
you're
have to talk to the
saying,
microphone.
whether it's a deliberate sort of strategy like you're saying, I don't know.
Time out. Hold on, Troy. Here's what we're going to do real quick. Hold on. Here's what we're going to do real quick. Brittany, Michelle, do you have anything you want to say about this?
I mean, I never seen the Barbie movie. The only thing I know is that Margot
Robbie.
Yeah, she got offered $250,000 to do feet finders.
Feet finders?
Feet finders.
That's probably the most important part.
Quiet. Everybody quiet. Let her talk.
Because there was a couple things that showed her feet in it. I saw this meme the other day. That's the only thing I know really about Barbie.
That is an important point.
That's it.
Talk about Arya. What do you think about this topic?
I do. Thank you. I want to know. So you guys are saying that you think that you can teach someone how to be gay?
No, that's not it.
These days, I actually disagree.
Okay, maybe let her finish. I think you might teach someone. I think you might teach someone that it's socially acceptable for them to act gay when they don't know if they're gay or not. Because here's the thing, Arya. I want you to consider this. When I was part of my maleness is me being attracted to women. It's probably more than 50% of my maleness, right? My experience as a human. I'm just like you. I probably like beautiful sunsets and fucking puppy dogs. And there's a commonality in our maleness as men and women. But my maleness as a man is me being attracted to women. That is something I was moderately aware of at 9, but fully fucking aware of at 17. Do you understand? But I'm supposed to have gender-affirming surgery when I'm not even aware of my maleness. Do you understand? That's the issue. So that when you go back to that whole thing, I am not qualified to make a decision about whether or not I want to change genders at that age because I'm not aware of the thing. The thing that makes most men like is that moment, going through puberty and then having that explosion of testosterone in your life. And so because you haven't experienced that, yes, I think at that point, because you have not fully experienced your maleness, you can be indoctrinated. I do believe. Yes. Go ahead.
You personally, so at age 9, if you would have saw the Barbie movie, you think that would have swayed how you feel?
No, but the movie was not indoctrination for homosexuality. There was very little talk about. There's like maybe 2 scenes.
Not that movie, but can I give you some stats real quick?
Sure.
But that's something that you guys argued about.
Well, we're not really talking about homosexuality.
We're not talking about that, but I will give you some stats.
We're talking about shaming masculinity. Go ahead, Adam, and then I want Ali to talk.
So we were just with Rogan last week in Austin, and Patrick was explaining to Rogan how America's just basically getting gayer. So if you look at generation by generation, real talk, if you look at the traditionalists who are basically 70 plus, right, 75 plus, 1% of our grandparents identify as gay.
Okay,
Baby
so
boomers,
just to be fair, it was non-binary, which didn't exist when our grandparents were that age.
No, I'm saying a part of the LGBTQ community.
Correct. So it's not gay, but it's not bad. It's because you're
whatever the rainbow mafia is. There you go. Where I'm going.
Because they're going to come after all of us.
That's
there you
fine.
go.
And just for the record, there's nothing wrong with being gay.
Of course.
But the stats tell otherwise. And then the generation after that are baby boomers. I think it's like 4% identify as that. Then you have Gen Xers who are basically, I don't know, in their 50s, right? You're a Gen Xer. It's like
not a boomer, you fucking
exactly.
Anyone older than 30 to Gen Z is a fucking boomer.
And then you have millennials.
Congratulations.
I'm the oldest millennial, early 40s, and it's like 10%. And then Gen Z, who are basically 25 and under, 20% of Gen Z identify as LGBT.
Yes.
You explained to me, and then of all those generations, who gives the least fucks?
The oldest one.
The oldest. Dude, I'm 80 years old. Do I give a shit? I'm gay. I'm 80.
Meaning, Arya, what he's trying to say is that they're not coping to say, I'm actually gay, but I don't want people to know I'm gay. I'm in a nursing home. I'm 75, and I fought in World War II. I can give a fuck what anyone thinks.
It's the Gen Z who is the most enhanced thinking about how people judge them.
Yeah.
And it's cool to identify as part of the LGBT movement. So the question of nature versus nurture, this is clearly not a nature situation.
Correct.
It's not natural. This is nurturing the LGBT.
So from a nerdy way to explain it, natural selection would allow for some people to be of alternative lifestyles, but natural selection does not change in a few generations. It would take thousands, or maybe hundreds of years for something. For a change in this, for you to have an increase in the amount of homosexual men or women or whatever to happen, that would happen over the course of hundreds of years, not over the course of 50 years.
20 years.
Yeah, 20 years. That doesn't work. Natural selection doesn't work over the course of 20 years.
The coolest Charles Darwin motherfucker out there.
Therefore, heritability cannot be the explanation for this. It must be society.
Are these people genuinely homosexual though, or are they just identifying as something within that spectrum?
Here's the interesting question. If you make the argument that homosexuality is heritable, but you can't make the suggestion that trans is, because trans is something you don't genetically take on, right? You don't inherit trans, but you can. Your genetics, there are studies on this, don't come after me, that state that there's a certain amount of population that's always going to be homosexual. That's fine, but my point is those different people, like for instance queer, which I kind of understand what that means, that's the Q in there, those things are very different from other people. Also, there's the other thing, I will say this, as far as bisexuality and lesbianism comes, those are two very different things. A man being homosexual and a woman being lesbian are not the same genetic expression. They are very, very different. Men's sexuality tends to be binary, they are gay or not gay. Women's sexuality, I know women that are fully into women and tolerate penis, and I know women that are fully into men and occasionally have a fucking threesome. Women have a spectrum when it comes to their sexuality. Men do not. Men tend, and the reason why we know this is because there's a great book on this called Dataclysm, where they go over this, and bisexual men tend to message men on dating apps. They don't message women. Whereas bisexual women will message men and women. Bisexuality with women is a spectrum. For men, it tends to be more binary. So that means it's not the same genetic expression on both sides.
There's even teacup rooms.
Yeah, but when you go back to what you said before, trans is not something you inherit. Trans is something that culturally you come into and say, this world, because there may have been people who wanted to be trans in the 15th century during Genghis Khan, but were like, no, I'm not getting my fucking head cut off, so I'm not doing this shit. There's probably people who wanted to be trans in Iran in 1984, but that's not going to fucking happen, so that there's a different way of looking at this. One is genetic, one is culture. Go ahead.
I think it's something that like you're kind of born with. Like my mom, she left my dad when I was 2 for like a woman, but it's like they were like, oh, it's a choice, whatever. But if you're with someone for 10 years, another 10 years, another 8 years, it's like, and you never been the boy, it's kind of not like really that. You don't like boys at that point. Like I feel like
it changes you. Okay, hold on.
But also when I was 8 years old.
Let's go around the table.
Can we hear real quick?
When I was 8 years old.
Are you a lesbian?
I'm not. No, I mean I like guys. I mean I'll kiss a girl for attention at a bar.
Yeah.
Make a guy
Michael,
at least you're honest.
How often are you kissing dudes for attention, Michael?
Yeah, we don't. Like,
but I had a neighbor when I was 8 years old, and she would take in our trash cans for us, write me love letters, and we were 8 years old, and her name was Crystal, but she identified and told us to call her Keith. And like when you're 8 years old, how do you like? You don't know that unless that's how you really feel inside.
So one more time, as men, this is not to denigrate anyone's sexual preference, but as men, as heterosexual men, our heterosexuality is tied to our masculinity. But as women, your heterosexuality is not tied to your femininity. Women, straight women, dance on each other, grind on each other, grab each other's boobs. If two heterosexual women, Allie and Kayla, for instance, if they were to kiss each other on their birthday, no one would accuse either one of them being gay.
I actually thought I was a boy because when I was born, my mom wouldn't touch me and would say, my mom wouldn't touch me and would be like, that's my baby boy, that's my baby boy.
Yeah.
So when I was born, I thought I was a boy. That's why I'm like, some women do have bigger dicks than a lot of men. And then like,
Are you saying that as a euphemism or literally?
She's a metaphor.
Literally.
She stopped. She's making a metaphor. Yeah, she did.
Or like,
No, she said literally.
I don't think she understands.
She literally knows what
I don't think she knows what literally means. Yeah.
No.
What?
Like when I was born, my mom would be like, that's not my baby girl. That was my baby.
Hillary, you don't have a penis.
I don't have a penis.
Okay, so it's not literally. So it's not literally. It's not literally then. Don't say it literally.
But I thought that. You know
My dick is literally big.
Okay, ready? Let's go to Allie. Go ahead. What do you think about this whole subject?
Allie, go.
What do I think? Well, I mean, I think that. I think it's insane that we're asking children, to decide that. Obviously,
Big
I think
shot.
if you ask them, like, do you like a banana or do you like an apple? They're like, oh, well, maybe I do like
Adam's
a banana.
apple?
I don't know.
Is it not
Like-
okay to let them figure out whether they are
Like
gay
who they
or
are?
not?
Cool. At 17, 18, 19, I have no problem with whatsoever.
Without giving them options.
High school.
And usually when they're about
things.
17, 18, that's when they develop.
Listen. I want you to let you guys understand. These same people who are allowing for the freedom of these people to change their gender at that age mandated that these same people had a vaccine before the age of 9. Okay, they mandated that. They also said that these people cannot smoke. And when I say people, these minors, they cannot smoke, they cannot drink, they cannot join the U.S. military, they cannot run for Congress. They can't do any of those things. In those cases,
their private parts.
Correct. In those cases, it made no difference. But here's the reason why. The only reason why you would need to do this at such an early age is because of indoctrination. There's no other reason. If your argument is, hey, let them make their own decision, let them make their own decision at 18. And the only reason why you'd want to do this before that is because if you have someone transition before puberty, the transition takes better.
Yeah.
That sounds like indoctrination.
Let it go.
I am a parent of a 5-year-old, so if my 5-year-old came to me now with this conversation, there's no way on earth I would allow her to go through with a procedure or anything
hormones.
of any sort right now.
Yeah.
You are 5.
I have a question, though.
bigoted of you. To not let your 5-year-old choose their gender.
I just can't even imagine having my child come to me and say, I these are the decisions I want to make.
There you go. You got it. Yeah.
And I want to make it now. Like you haven't even begun to know who you are. So
I think in our time back in the day, everything was called a tomboy. So my mom let me wear. My mom let me wear Jordans.
Great.
She was like, it's okay if you don't want to wear pink, you can wear blue. It's whatever you want. But it was never like, yeah, you think you're a boy.
No, yeah, absolutely.
So you're just a tomboy.
Well, the problem is the medical procedure is now becoming mainstream.
Yeah.
So now it's becoming sort of like not the default, but it's certainly becoming closer to the default. So it's like, well, you're a tomboy. Well, hang on a minute, maybe you need this procedure. I was anecdotally talking to a young woman who, by the way, very liberal. She's studying psychology, and her opinion was, and she, as I say, very liberal, New York girl. She was saying basically that she feels, and she knows certain professors in her academy who privately feel that actually there should be more research being put into what are other ways of approaching gender dysphoria, because at the moment the default is, well, get your junk cut off, and the difficulty with that is that anything else, any other conversation is being shut down, by academia because it's seen as bigoted.
Have you seen the panel that they did where it was they took a bunch of people that did actually transition and they regretted it, and they actually detransitioned against people that actually transitioned? So like the people that detransitioned were trying to say that like they wish they had more counseling before and actually address the core issues. And they may have wanted to inevitably, or maybe didn't want to, but there was never any type of getting to the core of it. And that they literally went in, they had one conversation, they They approved it with the medical, and they went and got their transition.
Yeah.
And then even like one of the girls, which was originally a guy, his private or her private closed because she couldn't keep it. He that went to a she couldn't keep it and like now messed up her whole thing because she was like kept saying her mind is messed up now. She doesn't have any of this.
Yeah,
listen,
and the problem is that you can't even discuss this. It's very difficult to get research funding because it's seen as transphobic.
Yes.
Because if you say to somebody, well, it might not be that you're genuinely gender dysphoric, it might be some other issue.
The issue is you want attention. That's basically what it is.
Would you say you're just gay and boring? Would you say you're gay and boring?
I think I have a unique position on this whole thing, which is that because we're looking at a generational difference here, where it's like Gen Z is like, what 25, 26, 28%, something like that. The percentage that identify, right, that as homosexual or transgender or what gender alien, whatever the fuck it is, right? The reason why is because they want to feel special in an age where we're more globalized. Mm-hmm. Everybody thinks that the internet is this, and we're doing it right now, right? Everybody thinks that the internet is this huge extroversion, when in fact it's really an introversion. Yes. And so what happens is people want to feel special. They don't. Gay is boring now. Once we ratified like homosexual or like same-sex marriage, that wasn't enough. Yeah. Now we have to have something else. Now we have to be, there's 72 different genders. I'm a demi-boy. I'm a whatever the fuck I am, right? So what my point is this is like, you're not trans, you're not a demi-boy, you're not a fucking furry, you're gay, and you're boring. That's what you are. And you're just looking for something so that you can stand out in a crowd that is now a worldwide global crowd.
I'll tell you what,
the people your same age.
Rolo hit the nail on the head. Yeah. It's like, to use like a gay fashion term, it's like, oh, you're gay? That's so last year. It's all about the tea now. Unless you're not cutting your dick off and transition as a kid, that's so last season.
Go ahead.
Just to be a gay or lesbian.
So I have a question. So it's like, people are like wanting to do this as like kids or like teenagers and stuff. Well, I don't understand, and also the people detransitioning. Why don't we make it at the age where their brain is fully done developing? Because
that's what we're talking about. 25 years old.
That's what we're talking about.
It should be 25 years old.
I'm not done yet.
That's 24
I'm not done yet. I'm not done yet.
Go.
I'm not done yet. Because over where Troy's from and stuff, it's known as it's genital mutilation, and the UN recognizes it as a really big humanitarian issue, and that's what we're doing here in the United States. Is we're doing genital mutilation to children, which should be child abuse.
Same with on animals.
Circumcision is genital mutilation.
It's child abuse.
But same with on animals too. It's the same.
Buying new genitals, you got to be sure about, because it's like buying a new house.
I think it's a little bit more than that. But I can see that. I can sort of a metaphor there.
What's your name again?
Tiffany.
Tiffany, are you like a red pill porn star?
Yes, that's exactly right.
That's an oxymoron. I'm struggling to understand
100%, yes.
And no, this is not my wife.
Go ahead, Jen. Everybody quiet. Jen.
My wife.
I don't think that agendas are demographic specific. When we think about agendas and the feminization of men, they're also telling women you can be fat. They're also telling women you can be a man.
And you disagree with that as well?
You could.
It's an operative.
It's not my business. It doesn't affect me at all.
Okay.
It doesn't affect me at all. But when we're talking about everything is gayer now, is that the fact, or is it just people are more comfortable being whatever they want?
I think people are just saying it more, to be honest, because they want to feel special and unique. Because if we look at getting aside from the trans thing, if we look at homosexuality, I just find it very difficult to believe that just because it's cool in the culture that a guy is actually a heterosexual guy is actually going to want.
There is no way.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't give a fuck how cool it was. I'm not fucking men. I just don't understand. Why is that difficult to understand? I don't care how fucking cool it is.
Each is their own.
I'm not.
Michael,
but you're a man.
If you want to suck a pussy, suck a pussy. If you want to suck a dick, suck a dick.
It was called in the
great campaign strategy right there.
Guys, time out. Go ahead, Troy.
Michael, remember, it was cool back in the fucking 80s. You had Boy George, you had all these, the new romantics and stuff like that. It doesn't make you gay.
You've never been more British than you are right now.
Absolutely.
I don't think the problem problem is gay people. I think the problem is lack of masculine men. Where you guys can talk on the side of masculine men, a lot of men have forgot that their purpose is to provide and protect women.
Yeah, but a lot of gay guys
hold on, wait. Hold on, I got you. You know what?
Gay guys are masculine.
Okay, that's very good. To your point, and to your point as well. You're saying all these guys are like pussies and they're not manning up and they're not living up to the responsibilities. Perhaps that's because we have cultural narratives like fucking Barbie that is teaching them that they are superfluous.
It's coming full circle now.
No, it's not coming full circle.
It is.
Because listen, even back in the day, watching my father be a very masculine man, guess what? I had uncles that were not.
How do you think he became a masculine man?
He probably didn't watch TV. You don't remember all the TV shows like Homer Simpson where they're all bumbling. All the men in all those shows were bumbling dolts. Every single one of them. They were never the hero. They were never the good guy. It was always the wife who was smarter, the daughter who was a genius to take care of the stupid husband and the stupid boy who kept getting in trouble. That is the narrative for 55 fucking
Mom
shows.
has to save him from himself.
But wait a minute. But why are we acting like? Listen, the majority of humanity is cattle, male and female. The majority.
Okay, so that leads to my next. Can I lead to my next case? Let me go to my next part of it.
Can I respond to one thing?
Go ahead. Time out. Stop real quick. Let's go her, and then we'll go over there.
Respond to one thing, because this whole conversation initiated with your very poignant question about like, so what's wrong with that? Like, what's wrong with the Barbie movie? Why are you beta men talking about this?
No, I said what's the panic?
Right.
Like, what's the panic?
And I'll tell you, and nobody's panicking here, but I'll be very direct with you. So it's
You're
been
so emotional.
Yeah, exactly.
God.
It's been a slow drip for years, drip, of basically toxic masculinity and basically the rise of feminism, but. The narrative, the theme, the slogan, the future is female. How many women have heard that before?
I've heard that.
Okay, the future is female. Okay, so what does that mean for men? So that we don't have a future? What does that mean? So
Good point.
all of a sudden, the future is female has opened up the floodgates for men being second-class citizens, women running the world, and this slow drip has turned into a tidal wave of basically men being simps. If you want to be a fan of Andrew Tate or Rollo or Adam or Troy or Michael, you're toxic and you're fucked up and there's something wrong with you. But if you start watching Barbie and you're all about the patriarchy and you're basically feeding into that narrative, you're a female, you're a boss babe, and it's basically ruining the exactly traditions that we've created of all of society, not just in America. So to answer your question, it's not a Barbie thing, it's the tidal wave that the slow drip started with that is basically seeping into America now.
Go ahead, Troy.
Just one thing on the homosexual. To be fair to the gay community, I mean, in London, some of the gay guys, we're talking about masculinity, effeminacy. Some of the gay guys in London are fucking jacked because they're all on trend.
They're all jacked. And they're all fucking sexy.
But what this might relate to maybe is the decline in testosterone.
Yes,
maybe you guys.
Something I talked about as we get it further and further away from a survival scenario. What's going to happen is, but it wasn't just that people needed more testosterone in order to live in a more agrarian society. It's additionally the people who did not have high testosterone were able to breed more. Meaning, the guy in 1850 with broad shoulders who was able to kill, hunt, and farm was rewarded in society by having more children because he would have a strong wife and have a bunch of kids, and so his children would also have that increased testosterone. As we get further and further in society, and once we have people living behind, working behind desks, they require less testosterone, but they make a lot of money, and so they're the ones having children, and so that's one of the reasons why. I bet you if we looked at the guys who stormed Normandy and the guys right now, their testosterone levels, I bet it's the same. If we looked at NFL players in the 70s, I mean, other than the guys on roids, the NFL players in the 70s and the guys now, I bet it's the same. Boxers back then,
Just
I bet
the 49ers.
The top of the society, I bet you it's the same. But in the middle, obviously, we're not rewarding men for being that masculine is not the right word, but physically strong.
It was interesting. I saw that show that you guys did when Zerka was here and with
Adam Alliance.
But then the show afterwards with Glenn, and you guys were talking a bit about testosterone and TRT and stuff, and it's there's the being jacked and being strong and being like a killer. There's that side of it, but there's also the mental acuity and the mental agility and stuff as well, isn't there? And it does seem, I mean, getting aside from the physicality of it and can this bloke wrestle you to the ground or whatever, there's also, it seems to me like a lot of guys, certainly that I coach as a dating coach, they're kind of pussified. And it's not about their physical ability. It's like how they're coming across to
They
the
don't
women
give
they're
themselves
dealing with.
permission. Yes.
They're like, they're very weak, they're very simpy, they're very fucking pussified. And that I think is a big problem.
How did that start, though?
So-
How did those guys become those guys?
They watched the Barbie movie.
I think
that's the problem.
I think it's cultural selection, meaning a 70, say from 1950 to now, society would select for a certain type of individual to breed more, and that has changed now. Now it's happened where the wealthiest men in the world are overweight, short, and not exceptionally strong.
Doesn't it have to do with the food too? Like, isn't there more estrogen in the food?
I mean, there could be, but I don't think that's population-wise. I really do think it's a matter of like there was a necessity to be big and strong, and those men had more children, and that is not the necessity anymore.
Well, you have Lizzo saying fat is beautiful, big is beautiful.
No, that's culture. I'm talking about evolution. Now, here's the one thing. Here's the last thing I want to lead with the whole Barbie thing, and this is the idea of a patriarchy. I think it's a meritocracy, not a patriarchy. But for lack of this, for sake of argument, I'm going to say there is a patriarchy. If there is a patriarchy, the victims of the patriarchy are. Who commits suicide more? Who is more likely to be homeless? Who is more likely to die in an accident? Who is more likely to work a 9-to-5 job with no compensation? Who is more likely to be taken in? Who is not 80% of victims of violent crime are men. If there is a victim of a patriarchy, the victims of the patriarchy are low status men, because even the girl at the trailer park can marry her way out of it. She can move up one socioeconomic class.
Yeah.
One thing
I'll wipe your little white trash ass up right now,
One thing my girlfriend and I have in common is that when I was her age, I was just as broke as she is now, right? And I'm in a very different socioeconomic class. As a man, I don't care at all how much money she has. I could not care less. Yeah. And from her standpoint, whereas she didn't get with me because of how much money I had. She had no idea. For the first week we were together at a resort in Mexico. While it doesn't matter, if you read the 37 culture study, what you find is in all 37 culture studies, women 200 to 300 to 500% more care about resources more than women do. Women care more about a man's ability to acquire resources than women care about a man's. So like Zerka said, men would marry a McDonald's server and women would not. And so that's the difference.
Can I ask a question for the panel? Because I think what you're saying is such a great point. Ladies, how many of you are comfortable paying your man's rent?
Fuck no.
Okay.
Jen is. I already know Jen is comfortable with that.
You guys live together.
Jen's already cool with that.
Can I answer that?
You guys live together.
Did it 3 times, won't do it again.
He just sits there, works out every day, looks pretty.
I would like to
You're
answer that.
paying the rent. Go ahead.
So, from experience, if you guys don't mind me speaking.
Let her go.
So from experience, I dated a guy that was 6 maybe 7 years younger than me, and he did not have a job. I was making a lot of money.
Where did he strip? Oh, sorry, not bad.
He was actually a regular person. Like, and he just so happened to
at
be.
least if you're gonna get a broke dude, get a male stripper at least.
No, I mean,
right, Ali? Get a male stripper at least.
I
why are you with this guy? Let this girl finish her point.
Hold on, wait.
never be able to
She works in the mine. She'll fuck you up.
Go ahead.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm respectful. So, anyways,
take notes, ladies.
I like the fact that he did not have a job and I was making a lot of money.
You like the fact
he was because he was available to me, and it was just something that was fun at the beginning.
He was your fuck boy. Gotcha.
Yeah, so he was fun at the beginning. So this is the problem. As I got serious and wanted to have a little bit more, I'm starting to look at him sit on the couch, just go work out, and I'm like, so all you have to give me is good sex. And what you're telling me, and that's it. And I'm like, so I started to actually, for the first time, feel the pressure of a man. I'm like, if this house burns down, I'm gonna have to put the dog on my back, I'm gonna have to carry you, and I'm gonna have to walk out the store.
But you could carry him.
Give me your name again.
Ashley.
Ashley, welcome to our world.
Yes, no, honestly, because
thank you, because we're paying the rent while you sit your ass out doing yoga all day, and we're cool with that.
To bring it back down to the point, I forgot. I am a woman and I want to have kids. So I'm like, dang, if I have kids with this person, and let's say the doctor said you need to be bedridden for 3 months, what are we going to do? So the stress and the pressure came to me, and I said, never again will I ever date a man that is like this.
Well, that's interesting.
So nobody will do it. You were the one, and you've been reformed.
Okay,
one more time. That's very interesting. It just so happens that there's another lady on the panel who has a similar experience with a homeless guy who related to it last time. Perhaps she would like to interject with all this. She would like to express her experience with this.
We've all dated a bum, and I'm not about
Jen.
All right, hold on. Wait. Jen's got it. Jen has the floor.
A literal bum?
No.
He was homeless?
No.
He was homeless?
He's a hobosexual.
Yes. Yeah. He was homeless? Yeah. He was homeless?
If you motherfuckers would be quiet, I could tell my story.
Was he a really hot bum?
But I did want to go back to something Michael said real quick, because I think it's very important before we get into that whole spiel. You said if there is a patriarchy, hypothetically, men are suffering from it, right?
Look in Ukraine.
Okay,
yes.
so then why such an emphasis on all these channels and spaces? Why such an emphasis on women? Why aren't you fighting men? Why aren't you on these
What's the
podcasts
Matrix?
talking about
When we talk
men?
about fighting the Matrix, what do you think we're doing? I'm
not talking about the movie.
Yeah.
I'm talking about
No.
men
Oh, she doesn't understand. A matrix is a metaphor for actually the establishment that is made of men that try to control us. We absolutely do. Yes, 100%.
Okay,
I don't think women could.
That's basically all I've been doing this week is fighting other fucking men.
Yeah.
Thank you very
That's why
much.
they have these
ultimate
men of action things, because that's him fighting men to bring them to
not be on the couch.
Exactly. Yeah. So he's trying to help them.
Anyway, go back to what was your point?
Okay, no. So my
to be
point
clear, was your point that on these male shows we talk too much about bitching about women and not?
That's exactly my point.
So
it gets views. It gets views. I don't care. I like to pay my rent,
which is fine. But I would probably want to hear what you guys say.
AdSense.
The ultimate point of why we do these shows is for male improvement.
To educate men.
But to educate men, because the Achilles heel for men are all you bad bitches. And basically the whole premise is men focus on self-improvement, make your money, stop fucking looking around at all the shiny objects and the fake titties, and make your money and do what you got to do. And if you become that dude, then you can have all the bitches. Okay, not just the one that disrespects you.
Okay, well, I agree 100% with that. Iron sharpens iron. You should be concentrating on masculinity and building men, not teaching the nature of women, because men will never get it.
No, but men need to understand
you can get the nature of women.
You are 100%
you can learn the nature of women.
The huge value of these shows, all these shows like this, is that guys, probably for the first fucking time, really, because this is quite a new format, get to hear women themselves expressing the things that they think and the things that they want. And guess what? It's fucking the opposite of what a lot of blue pill guys think. A lot of guys are sitting there thinking, oh, she's such a beautiful princess, she's so amazing, blah blah blah. In the meantime, she's on a show like this, saying that she wants to fuck the pool boy because he's got a top up, whatever.
Hey, leave my wife alone, bro.
Hey, one more time. I want to express this one more time. We just talked about right here. The women were not comfortable with paying a man's rent.
No.
Again, the 37 culture study by Dr. Buss. Women were more interested in men's ability to acquire wealth than the other way around. So which two of the two genders is constantly competing? Which one, guys? It is the men. That is why we have more testosterone, because evolution created us to compete. If we are the ones competing, that means we are stratified based on our competency. And so the victims of the true, if there is a patriarchy, the true victims of the patriarchy, the lowest rung of the patriarchy is poor, low status fucking men. Yes. It is. It is undeniable.
How many homeless hot women do you see?
No.
Zero.
She used to be homeless, and now she's killing it.
So you can name one homeless hot bitch.
And there's one in Vegas.
I know so many dudes that are homeless.
All right,
There's so many homeless men. Any pretty girl can find herself.
I have two things. One, she will never date a bum. That I already know. Two is this: is that if you want, you get the men you deserve. You get the men that you create. Okay, so when we're talking about, these guys need to stop talking about it. Just the problem that most women have with the red pill, with these shows like this, is they would rather you talk about becoming a better dude because they want you to be a better dude for them, not because they want to be better for themselves, but because they want to be better for them.
They also might not be comfortable with female bad behavior being broad.
Let me finish up just real quick.
But don't you
more
want better
point.
women for you?
Yeah. Well, great. But here's how you get that.
Let me know where they're located.
Here's how you get that. You understand the nature of women. That's why we talk about this. The problem
understand the nature of women.
The problem that women have, women have with the red pill is that they see it and they see it as like men revealing these unflattering truths about about women's nature. That's why they don't want guys talking about this stuff. They don't want to have this. They would rather stay in a position of sort of being mysterious. You'll never figure us out. Fuck that. We have already figured that shit out.
That's not my issue.
So the other problem is this: is that if guys, women love the red pill when it's guys going, yeah, man, get in the gym. Yeah, man, be on your money. Yeah, man, learn some game. Yeah, have some social skills. They love that fucking stuff. But when it comes to, women tend to love are opportunistically and men tend to love idealistically, or we talk about hypergamy, or we talk about the war brides dynamic. We talk about alpha widows. We talk about anything that is even marginally unflattering to female nature. That's when they have a problem with it. So it's all about, if it's all about like men becoming the best versions of themselves, no problem whatsoever. The problem is you don't get it that way. You get one with the other. You don't get them in separation. It's not pick and pull.
Of life. You need us.
You need us. There's 23 chromosomes. There's 23 chromosomes that fit together and make 23.
I cannot wait till we get to the astrology part of the
Michael, tell her about that double helix.
Real quick. Kirsten, I need you to grab the microphone. I need you to take it to your mouth, and then I need you to speak.
Kirsten, do what you do every weekend. Go ahead. Put the microphone right there.
And men are here to protect and provide for us so that we can continue on as a species.
Okay, so now here's the thing. I want to talk about this real quick. The arena that each gender competes on is defined by the opposite gender. I want you to hear me out real quick.
What about surrogates?
Okay, hold on, listen. I know the exception. Okay, no, we're talking about in general. So meaning that women tend to dress the way they do because men find those things attractive and appealing. They do. Then I know some women will say, I only dress hot for me. That's fine. But somehow you got a penis inside of you somehow. I don't know how that happened. But you're only doing it for you. You're not doing it for men. Okay, got it. Whatever.
And you do it when you're home alone.
You do it when you're home alone. Yeah. Put all your makeup on because you're just doing it for you. You just go to the gym with your fucking makeup on because you're not doing it for men. Yeah, we totally believe that shit.
My neighbor downstairs.
Anyway, okay. So now here's the thing. So
no, he has dildos downstairs.
If you want to say, for instance, this is an argument you might get from someone from like say Victoria's Secret. Well, the only reason that we put these Victoria's Secret models up there who are skinny and tall and gaunt and have the features that they do with facial symmetry and hip to waist ratio is because men see them that way and they objectify the women. So what you could say is the argument is the arena that women compete on is defined by men. And if that is the case, then the fucking opposite is true. Which means if you guys are complaining about things that men do, guess why they're doing it? It's because you reward them. I promise you right now, if every woman came together and made a stand and said, we will not fuck any more narcissists and psychopaths, what would happen? Hold on. What would happen? Do you guys understand how natural selection works? If all of you selected against men who were assholes and are psychopaths and narcissists, what would happen to them? This is an indefatigable truth. They would disappear. Yeah. But you don't.
But we're toxic and we like toxic men.
Thank you. I mean, Hillary just skipped to the final, my final point.
Most narcissists are charismatic.
Yeah, correct. But my thing is, my point is, I can maybe not all of you, but most of you have gone on a date with a guy who was super fucking nice, and if you rewarded that behavior, then the world would be full of nice 100%. Men. But you left that date.
We go for toxic.
And you went home and you told your roommate about how you had a nice date and he was kind of fun, and then you went to go
my own dick.
And then you went to go fuck your toxic ex, and in doing so,
Michael, I sucked that dick.
Yeah, there we go. You did, she fucks the nice guy, right? Tiffany fucks the nice guy too. Okay. Anyway, the point is, if you guys, I promise you, and this was if you guys ever read When Men Behave Badly by David Buss, actually, at the very end of the book, he talks about this, and women find this the most offensive part of all. If you really wanted men to change, you could change all of it by not rewarding the behavior that you don't like.
Guys will start being nice when women start fucking nice guys.
They'll never do it.
Again, one more time. I'm going to say this, and there is no argument against this. If you wanted men to be nice, case, all you had to do would be to only fuck nice men, and the entire world would change. But the reason why men are the way they are, the reason they are competitive, the reason they are assertive, the reason they go to the gym all the fucking time is because those are the behaviors that you reward.
No,
and if you believe anything, you can believe any. Oh, it's young girls, it's old girls, whatever.
It's like you are who you eat, and you are who you fuck.
When you say young girls, you mean
she said young girls. I said
you mean the type of girls that guys want?
It's the 21-year-olds
not old ass annoying women.
No, it's like you are who you eat and you are who you fuck. So it's like you're
wait. Let's let the birthday girl tell us if this is true or this is not true.
What?
Are you more into like a different kind of guy at 30, soon to be 38, than you were
rich ones.
You just fucked the rich ones, right?
It's been like that for a little while, but I mean, there were some losery rich ones.
And CJ, where has that gotten
always
you?
Been rich. Into AA, sober for 1.5 years.
Maybe that wasn't the best path.
Getting paid to party tomorrow at the Sapphire Pool.
CJ, what did you say? What did you say about Bad Boys? Did you say you liked the Bad Boys for a bit?
At one point, did you like Bad Boys? At any point, did you like Bad Boys?
Are they toys at this point?
Well, I mean, I dated a dating coach, so maybe he was.
Did you ever date anyone who lied to you?
Yeah. Of course.
Okay. So the point I'm trying to make
They were signed up for it, though.
the point I'm trying to make is I know ladies are gonna be like, well, he was nice in the beginning. Well, ask your guy friends, because my female friends come to me and be like, hey, do whatever you want, but that guy's gonna cheat on you 100%. Like I have no doubt whatsoever. But you don't want to see it because you ladies, I'm blaming men also, right? OnlyFans exists because of men's weakness. I totally agree with that. I'm not saying that, but women's behavior is defined by what men find attractive and acceptable. But if that's the case, then the opposite is true, and the reason why men do any of the things you're complaining about is because you reward that with sexual intercourse.
So you're saying men and women are fucked up?
No, it's demand and supply.
Women are more fucked up. Women are more fucked up.
No, they're both fucked up.
It's
they're both fucked up.
But doesn't it happen often enough to we can chalk it up to fucking nature? When we are young, we want the bad boy, we want the muscles, and then you age, and then you want to slow down. Everybody goes through that.
But the high
nature.
Right, I understand, Jen, but then the high status man doesn't want you anymore when you get older and slow down. That's unfortunately what happens.
I think women
depends
do
on what
big part
you
damage
look
to men, though.
I agree with you. But here's the thing: when I have a choice, because when I was 22 years old, I read the Rich Cooper's book with all the red flags in it, and I was like, man, these are not red flags. These seem like fucking fun ass women to me, tattoos and all this stuff. Like this is great. But then I realized, you want to know why? Because I didn't care about being in a relationship. When I was 22, I would follow a girl with a big set of fake tits around a party all night long.
How's that changed since you broke?
And if she was
still got it.
if she was talking to some other dude, I would just follow her all night. I didn't care because I had no personal boundaries. I had no personal self-worth or net worth at that point.
So you were a creeper?
I was 22 years old. No, I was just a horny dude. I was in fucking college trying to have sex with Tiffany, do you really think a dude in college trying to have sex with women, like this idea that men are all super discerning in college is ridiculous. No, these guys, when you're in your early 20s, you didn't care. You would put up with anything. And now I'm in my 40s, and if a girl I was on a date with, I wasn't even dating, went and talked to some other dude for 20 minutes, she'd come back and I'd be fucking gone. There's no way I would tolerate that behavior.
It's what you put up.
Correct. Yeah. So, but that's the thing that changes over time. But here's the thing with me: if I have a choice, back then I didn't care if a girl was old or young. I just cared if she was hot. That was the thing. But as I get older now, this is the problem. It's not that the 33-year-old, there are 35-year-olds that are stunning. My best friend CJ is stunning, and she's 38 years old. But the thing is, the problem is, if I have a 21-year-old version, that's who I'm going to pick. That's just it, guys. It's not that. It's a function of supply and demand. You see what I'm saying?
It's all supply and demand.
Now you're talking my language with economics.
But how do you not know she's a fucking born-again virgin at 30?
It's all supply and demand. All this stuff
that's not a real thing.
It's all supply and demand. All this stuff that Michael's talking about. Michael's talking about this through the prism of...
Guys, let Troy talk. Everybody quiet.
Michael's talking about this through the prism of evolution. And it could be looked at through that prism, but it could also be looked at through the prism of demand and supply, right? And it's like, what's the fucking demand? The demand is for the fucking bad boys. Certainly amongst the hot, most desirable young women, which, let's face it, most of these high-value dudes are fucking going for. That's the reality of it. Now, in terms of that Rich Cooper book, I took that book and I used his fucking checklist of red flags. I'm like, yeah, if she ticks these ones, I'm going after it. Do you know what I mean? But it depends what you want.
Red flags or green flags if you're not getting married.
Absolutely, man. If you're not getting married, it depends what you want. And every guy out there, I think, has to decide, okay, what do I actually want? What do I actually fucking want? Do I really want to get wifed up? Do I really want to get into a conventional relationship? Because on Twitter, we're being told by these trad dudes the whole time, find a traditional woman, settle down, buy a farm in Montana, have 15 kids, blah, blah, blah. Well, fuck all of that. Why not just come to Vegas and party, right? But you've got to decide for yourself what the things that you want are, and then go after that. But if you're going to go after these party girls, if you're going to go after these hot young women, you're going to have to take a leaf out of the Chad book. You're going to have to take a leaf out of the Dark Triad book. That's just the fucking reality.
Can I add on to that? You hit on supply and demand.
Go ahead, and then I got to get to super chats. Go ahead.
When it comes to supply and demand, and that's a basic law of economics. Now you're talking my language. So Taz's Angels back in the day was a famous quote. I don't know if you know who that is. He said, "A bad bitch turns 18 every single day."
Yes. Yeah.
And the problem that ladies need to understand is that men get better as they get older, and unfortunately women get worse. CJ, you're gorgeous. I'll pick on you for a second. What men are solving for is different from what the women are solving for. I am so much better at 40 than I was at 22. Even though I was working out and playing football, I had no money, I was broke, I had no status, I had no network, I had no net worth, I had nothing. At 22, you're Playboy cover, bad bitch, hot ass, big bird looking girl, doing your thing. And at 38, I would rather have the 22-year-old version of CJ. Why? Because I'd rather have a woman who doesn't, I don't care about your money. We already established you ain't paying my rent. I have to pay your rent. Facts.
But isn't it because
So I'd rather I'd rather have a beautiful young girl that I can indoctrinate to my views, take her to Vegas for the first time, take her to Europe for the first time, not a girl who I've been like, hey, we're going to go to Aspen. She's like, yeah, my ex-boyfriend took me to Aspen. It wasn't that cool. It's like,
no, hold on.
So
You go to all the clubs in Miami, and you don't have to worry about getting in because she kisses all the bouncers on the cheek as she walks you in the club.
Yes.
Yeah, like that girl? Yeah, exactly.
Oh, we can't get in. She's like, oh, I'll just call Troy.
Yeah, I know the owner. I was on his boat last week.
Exactly.
Really? You were on his boat?
Unattractive to a man.
You guys, ladies, I'm going to say this again.
Boundaries.
I'm going to say this one more time. If you have any unaccompanied photos in Dubai on your IG, take those motherfuckers down
The same goes for men.
immediately.
No
Why?
girl wants to date a guy that's in the club all the time, just like a guy doesn't want to date a girl that's in the club all the time. Yeah, you're washed up. Everyone has access to you. You're not exclusive. What's the value?
Are you saying a girl would not date a guy who's all up in the club?
I don't. And that's why Supreme is such a valuable brand, because it's exclusive. Only certain people have access to it.
Supreme is a valuable brand? That's the epicenter?
No, I'm giving you an example of a hype
Not
brand.
Versace, not Gucci. You're going Supreme. We got some low standards.
Anything limited edition that limited people have access to, people want. It's a hype item.
You could have
all right. She just. I'm going to read super chats here, but she just presented you with an economic proposal here. Scarcity makes the price go up. Rarity makes the price go up.
Touche.
No, but it's the perception of desirability, though, isn't it? And for guys, if the guy's fucks a lot of girls or appears to be wanted by a lot of women, that's going to make his value appear higher.
You guys
to women.
are picking on CJ, and what if she hasn't had sex in fucking 5 years? I haven't had sex in 2 years, and I'm fucking 30.
What about that, CJ?
It's about fucking born again virgin type shit.
That's not a real thing. Stop saying.
All right, wait.
It's not a real thing.
All right. Here, I gotta do these. Okay. Hold on. Let me get these. Okay, so we got to get to these. Okay, so here's one. This was actually pretty good. I don't even ZAR, whatever his name is. Great show, guys. I've got a question for Rolo. Which women is better to be with long term? A deeply religious woman who has no genuine desire for you, or a non-religious woman who has a genuine desire for you? How about this? A girl who's a little bit bad. A little bit evil. She's evil sweet, right? She's right on that cusp is the sweet spot.
The first one sounds like a fucking nightmare, Rollo. To be honest, that first option sounds terrible.
I don't want you nobody's marrying a nun. Okay, that's no. But see, the thing is which would you rather? A deeply religious woman who has no genuine desire for you? Well, of course not. I mean, anybody who I would just answer the question: is genuine desire is the litmus test for any relationship. That's how you will keep it healthy. But if you guys want to answer that question, he says, which woman is better for a long-term relationship? A deeply religious woman who has no genuine desire for you, or a non-religious woman who has a genuine desire for you?
Well, the answer is obvious. If she doesn't have desire for you,
I don't want to be with somebody who doesn't want to be with me.
Exactly.
Period.
I think maybe he's asking.
I think he's like maybe a virgin or somebody that's like slept around or something like that.
I think
she did it. Yeah.
I don't understand the obsession with the virgin version thing. I get low body count. I'm not trying to be, at this point, be with a girl who's never been with anybody.
Yeah.
That's not my vibe.
It's a bit weird, man. It's
all right, I got another one here. 2-bit users. 2-bit users. I think the last good TV dad was Andy Griffith, and he was a single father. Since then, it's been ridiculous idiot dads who are lost without their wives. Yes, they need mommy to save them from themselves. What is this? Gay guy. God. North South says gay guys can hold a marriage for 25 years.
That's true.
They're jacked and hot.
No, because they fuck around because it's non-monogamous. It's non-monogamous.
All right, Uno, and let me tag onto this. Uno says, thanks for the $5 super chat. He says, studies prove that there is no gay genome to predict. So, being gay is often a defect in some human psyche and can occur early as a result of trauma.
It's true. Disgusting verbiage, defect.
Yeah, well, that's what I was going to say.
So here's the thing. There's literature that shows that it has to do with. There's a correlation between the amount of testosterone the fetus gets in utero and then it gets in during puberty. It's not genetic in that case, but there may be some extenuating circumstances that cause the fetus to get less. There's still biological circumstances. They're not environmental. So that's the only thing I want to make.
$10 super.
I don't think you choose to be gay. I don't think you choose to be gay.
$10 super chat. Oh god damn it! Like whenever I do this show, it's like I usually have my standard people who are in the chat, and this one everybody just comes out of the woodwork. Fat Lip O'Dip. Thank you. Great name. Shout out to Nick Fuentes. The railroads have nothing to do with it.
Railroads? I don't know what you're talking about. I do know.
I figured that would be something
it has to do with a memo that the guy who was running Germany in 1939 wrote, basically saying, do not liquidate the Jays. That's what he said, and it was in his handwriting, and it proved that he was liquidating the Jays. Therefore, there was
a nuclear Codilla. He says, how is everyone's Kenergy tonight?
Oh, Kenergy. I was gonna, hey guys, for his birthday, I'm gonna get him a shirt that says I am Knuff. Have you seen I am Knuff?
Yes.
I am Knuff.
Well, did Kendom?
It's Ken enough.
Did Kendom relate to condom or no?
No, it was just a kingdom.
Jen, you have a fan. Black TV says here for Jen only $20.
For you, Jen.
Hey.
Let's see. Okay. Troy Francis is here. Troy can finally take notes from Sartain and Rollo. What did Andrew Tate take from your book? Barbie sucks.
I fell asleep the last hour.
So here's another one. This was actually a good question for everybody here. Ladies, pregnancy, childbirth, menopause, your period, 1/4 of the year prevents you from being intimate with your partner. Should you make him have other women? Do you expect him to be sexually disciplined?
I'd like to speak.
I think almond.
Okay. Carrie, thanks for your $13 super chat.
Almond cheat before
Save your money.
During and after.
English as a second language is actually a
guys.
course.
One more time, guys. Go to Grammarly. There's all sorts of places you can go to copy and paste your messages. For some reason, guys, I don't know why you would spend money to have a grammatically incorrect super chat.
So let me see.
You should hear Natasha trying to read these fucking super chats.
Let me see if I can reform the question here. Okay, ladies, pregnancy, childbirth, menopause are things that prevent you from having sex with your partner.
Should you
make him? No. Would you allow him? Would you want him to have sex with other women? Or to be sexually disciplined.
Let me say this.
Oh, we'll go around the table, but go first. Okay.
I was going to say, none of that stops me from having sex.
Especially
with
menopause.
my man.
If you're not putting me on my period, I'm not.
Can confirm.
Oh, listen. Let me explain something. Listen, red like that fucking T-shirt. I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn.
Thank you, Michael.
If it's not a murder scene on the white sheet, it's not going down.
And she can bring her friend. She can bring her friend to be a mass murder. It'd be like this. It'll be a mass murder. Red like this Solo cup. It'll be a mass murder. I don't care. Bring all your friends.
For the record, I had a man pull my tampon out.
Oh!
With his teeth himself.
He pulled with his teeth. Did he pull the tampon out with his teeth?
But he said
Hold on, what?
Because I've seen that before.
I was like, wait, because I'm on my cycle. He was like, I don't give a fuck. Cracked my legs, pulled the tampon off, threw it in the garbage, and got busy. And got busy.
Sounds like a classy guy.
You better.
By the way, Jen, the chat is calling you Red Pill Kamala Harris.
No, was he drinking red wine?
There you go.
Mortified.
How did the red wine taste?
I'm just saying, I see a lot
You're
of
the biggest freak here, by far.
Wait, let me go around the table. Let me go around the table here.
Definitely have the biggest.
But before we go over here, I'm going to say that there are at least 2 ladies here with hoop earrings. Just going to point that out. All right, so would you want your man? Hold on. Hey.
No talking.
What would you want your man to? Would you allow him, or would you want him to go out and have sex? If you couldn't, would you want him to have sex with other women?
Oh, no. If he's like solely committed to me, I'm kind of jealous. I don't know. I don't want him to be with anyone else. But I feel like I can go out and make out with girls just to get his attention. If I feel like it's a lack of attention, I feel like I'm very double standards when it comes to me.
I see.
But
so cognitive dissonance.
Michelle, whose attention are you looking for?
Cognitive dissonance.
It's almost like I just like crave like that person to want me, like because I maybe it's insecurities within myself.
When you say maybe, you mean definitely? And then when you're doing the making out with girls in public, whose attention are you looking for?
Well, normally actually, I don't know. Okay, so I have to define, are we like going towards like a relationship?
Yeah, you're in a relationship with them.
I don't know who you're making out with. I don't know who you're making out with random girls. Why are you doing it?
I would, but I was
By the way, keep doing it.
I was unclear if
why are you doing it?
I was unclear if we were talking about more of if it was like a one night stand, if I liked the guy, versus if I was in a relationship with the guy. He clarified saying if it was more of a relationship, if I was in a relationship, I wouldn't really go around making out with my friends. I would try, but it would be a fight at the end of the night, so I'm not trying to really do all that.
Wait, who are you dating that's
Wait,
gonna
there's
fight?
going to be a fight? What type of pussy's going to be like, hell no? Actually, you know what?
30th
I'm not going to lie. I had one guy get really jealous of me.
What is wrong with
Are more
him?
insecure than me, so also, I don't know.
Hey, listen, one place, ladies, well, we're gonna agree.
These guys end up being dicks at the end, but
like we said, like Michael said,
Jen, if I ever see you out in the club and we're hanging out,
listen,
make out as many girls as you want.
let me say this.
And then bring them home.
One place where we're going to agree is if women make out with other women and your boyfriend is upset about it, that is insecurity.
I've had that.
You are completely correct about that. You are completely correct. You have something wrong with you.
I've had my man kick out a girl.
That's happened to me, my friend, but most of our
All right, wait. CJ, go. What do you think? Would you?
I think all men cheat regardless.
So,
but also,
Even if they're
I think,
eye-fucking.
Also, no, that's not cheating. That's not cheating. Also, I believe that if you have sex with a man on your period, that you can cast a spell on him.
Really?
Witchcraft. Tell me about this. What do you mean by that? I like casting spells. What do you mean?
If he's eating you out, if he's like
Teach me.
if he's eating your blood.
Oh no, I'm not doing that.
That's getting your red wing.
Okay, so we did. Okay, so
fuck
we
around and taste like nickels
Right,
down
so
there. You know what I'm saying?
All right, so we've established that CJ is a Shark Week sorceress. Okay, Aria.
Oh my god. Okay, so 2 different things. Like, one, I actually do spell work, and that's true. Like, if a guy has sex with you while you're on your period, that's spell work. But if you let a guy come in you, that's also spell work.
On your period, or just generally?
I'm actually not sure how that works. No, behind shit, yeah. So if a guy comes in you, it's also spell work. So be careful, ladies.
I have to say something. This is the problem with ladies.
But only if the guy believes.
Guys, stop. We're gonna go Adam, and then we're gonna go to Hillary.
If our guy friends talked like this to us, we'd be like, yo, bro, what the fuck
You're
is wrong
wildin'.
with you, bro?
You were delusionally crazy.
You guys are all like,
Yeah, witchcraft. It's like I totally agree and making out.
What the fuck is
Yeah,
this?
teach me. It's like shut the fuck
Hold on. One
Your
more time.
friends aren't looking out for you then.
What the fuck is this?
Hillary, Troy.
I know exactly what it is.
What the hell is this witchcraft thing in America,
Okay, so-
right? I keep meaning
Stop talking, guys. Listen to Troy.
What the hell is this witchcraft thing in America? I keep meeting fucking girls here in Miami into this fucking witchcraft thing. Why is it so big?
because girls don't G-check other girls.
Canadian.
Like men will G-check other men. If you're like, hey, bro, come on my way. I got a witchcraft. I'm like, Troy, we're not hanging out, dude. We're good.
Men Men of Action,
These girls are
we now do witchcraft.
This weekend we're gonna do a witchcraft yoga retreat in my backyard.
That's also the difference.
That would sell.
That's also the difference in the sex.
All right, here we go. Next. Wait. Okay. Who do we have next? Hillary.
Okay, so talking about back to
Closer.
witchcraft.
Microphone.
Okay. So you know, like you were saying, like if a guy comes in you, that's also witchcraft. It's only if like you know how like people don't split poles. Like if you go on one side of the pole, that's like witchcraft too.
Bitch, what?
Like splitting poles. Like if you're walking on one side of the fucking street and there's a stop sign and everybody goes on
No,
this
baby,
side.
that's superstition.
But it's still like witchcraft. Same with witchcraft. If you looked it up, it is superstition. I practice it actually too.
Okay.
So just like the coming thing in girls' vaginas. How the fuck is that witchcraft if you don't know if it's witchcraft? If you're witchcraft.
I just want to say for the record.
What year did you graduate from Harvard? I just want to know. I want to see if we have any mutual friends.
I'm actually a paralegal, so.
Okay.
I want to state for the record that if that is the litmus test for witchcraft, we have the high priest of witchcraft here, right?
Battle of the witches.
What do you think?
Battle of the witches.
Wait. Go ahead, Seth.
Here's my 2 cents. I like to share. So I wouldn't give a fuck. I mean, I would probably put in some sponges and jump in too.
Yeah.
I'm a team player. I'll be like, dude, you know what? Let's hack this bitch together.
I'm so confused by you. Half your answers are amazing, but then I have to remind myself she's a porn star, and I'm like, all right, cool. Now let's make it.
I
gotta answer.
She can't be
I didn't get to
smart.
go.
That doesn't mean she can't be smart and well versed in other topics.
Everybody's smart.
No, that's exactly what I'm saying.
All right, hold on. Wait. Ash, go.
I like women. I actually like women more than men, but I want to be with men ultimately. So I would share my man.
That's right.
And I like to, and I also kind of like to watch. So I guess that's. Can a woman be a cuckold?
So, metaphor.
Go for it.
I mean, like, if I can't, like, or maybe I don't feel like having sex, I'm like, you know what? I'll sit here and drink a little drink while you're doing some things.
Girl.
I think it's sexy.
Absolutely. It is nasty, right?
But it's also kind of sexy watching what he does to her because you're like, that's what it looks like.
But don't you sit there and your mom and be like, yeah, babe, go fuck the fuck out of that bitch. Skull fucker.
All right, wait.
Skull fucker.
Skull fucker.
I cheer it on.
What is a skull
that it's dirty work. It's sometimes just. She said watching someone else do the dirty work. It's not even that. It's watching someone else do the dirty.
24/7. Let another guy.
Kirsten, you got to get closer to the microphone.
Pleasure of it. It's not even that I'm thinking of her like you're doing the dirty work. I'm like.
I do the work while I enjoy the shopping sprees and dinners and cuddles and the sweetness. And another girl can go to his office during the day and suck his dick, and then he can come home to me and give me all the spoils.
Men can separate the emotion from sex. Women
Well, you better be showering in between.
Allie. Wait.
Do you want a man going down on you all the time?
That's what I would like to add. Is not all men cheat. I've met men that don't cheat. It's about their character and who they are as a person.
Well, I'm not even saying cheating. I'm just saying like if you don't want to suck his dick 24/7.
But women are asked this question on whether or not they're open based on jealousy. But no one ever asks women this question based on like, are you open based on the fact that STDs exist? Would you want your man to be open with all women? I know, but if you're just letting them fuck anyone,
that was the rule. No babies, no.
To me,
STDs.
it's not about jealousy. To me, it's like I don't want another woman imprinting her bacteria and pH onto you and then bringing
OCD.
All right, so you're worried about epithelial.
So listen,
It's
so
not
you
about
just
jealousy.
you just
It is
pick
nasty, right? Isn't it nasty?
You just pick 5 and you rotate. That's how it works. Okay, that's the way it works.
Recycle, reuse.
That's how my.
Let me read the super chat.
All right, as long as I'm the main girl.
Mike, go. You got
from Joe Hall. He writes brown shorts. I don't know what that means. Jose Martinez, Michael Sartain. Thank you for letting me know about the Barnum fallacy and the Texas sharpshooter fallacy. That came up when we debated Gary the Numbers guy. I got another one here from GD. Is there a relationship dynamic that exists that makes both men and women happy in this new emerging society?
No.
Marriage is clearly not. Monogamy is clearly not. What is the answer for a man who wants children? That's a good question. I don't know the answer to that. I don't like. For me, I feel like exceptionally lucky. Like I just realized the other day I've hosted 52 bikini competitions, and I found my girlfriend at one of them. Like, what is the likelihood of a normal dude finding a girl that's that attractive?
The model that some people are trying to do, and I have friends who want to do this, is okay, I want to have kids, but I don't want to settle down into domesticity. So therefore, I'm going to sort of probably have, I'm going to meet a woman in, say, Colombia, whatever. Maybe we have a kid, and then I support that kid, of course, and I'm there, but I'm not going to be there all the time because I'm still going to be doing my own thing. And maybe there's another baby mama over here and there, whatever. I think we know some high-profile people who are doing that sort of thing. I've certainly got friends who are considering that. Now, you might say, well, is that the best way to be a father? I don't know the answer to that. Maybe not. But I think that people are trying to push at the boundaries of monogamy now and find these other models, because monogamy is pretty fucked, guys. It's really, really difficult for both genders. And
but it's important for children.
Well, but is it? I mean,
I wouldn't have wanted to see my mom or dad bring multiple partners home growing up as a small child.
No, not necessarily bring multiple partners home. The question is, is it okay to raise a child when the father's not there the whole time, but he's being incredibly supportive? But you say that, but if you go back a couple of generations to my grandfather's time, actually fatherhood was a lot more distant and austere than it is now. These days it's like, he's going down to IKEA and he's changing the nappies and all that stuff. That never fucking happened in the Victorian era, right? If you look at someone like, I think Tate's talked about this, Andrew Tate's talked about this. It's like, no, I'm going to be the fucking father. I'm going to provide for that child. I'm going to love that child. I'm going to teach that child everything he needs to know. But I'm not necessarily going to be there every fucking 5 minutes because I'm not a woman. Do you know what I mean? The man's role is to go out into the world and conquer and do his thing and make his fucking imprint on the world, not necessarily to sit at home, playing with dummies. You know what I'm saying?
But part of conquering things isn't conquering multiple pussy. You can conquer the world and still be faithful.
That's
the ultimate conquering.
That's like having 6 wives. What is that show called? Like the Mormon people.
My sister.
The Paula McGee or whatever.
I got something to say to what Mr. Francis said.
Polygamy. So that's what it is.
Nobody's read Rollo's book here but me, it feels like. He writes about the soulmate myth.
Yeah, exactly. I agree.
I read the whole fucking book.
I've read it as well.
How many chapters?
Let's see, all parts of all 10, including the outro. Thank you.
Have you read all 5 books?
No,
get off the show.
Wait, I read the first book, which talked about the soulmate myth.
Well, I think the soulmate.
Yeah, but there's 5 different things about soulmate thing. If you guys look it up on Google too.
But the thing is, it's
your love language too.
I started reading that.
Hey, Hillary.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
I started reading.
So I don't want to crush your dreams, but there's no science behind the 5 love languages, and there's no science behind soulmate.
But that's what the book kind of revolves around.
No, the rational male has nothing to do with soulmates. We're talking about that book right there. See behind him, the rational male. That's the book we're talking about. His book. That's what we're talking about. Hey guys, do you know that whole thing where you see someone who's a Sagittarius and you're like a Gemini and you have like a vibe between them? None of that's true. None of that's real. Absolutely none of that.
When somebody
Complete
goes
hoax.
like when you're on the first date, you're like, "What's your sign?"
Yes, complete made up.
My language is
by the way, also humans do not emit energy and receive energy. None of that's real. None of it. Vibe is a fucking metaphor. Humans do not vibrate on frequencies. They do not exist. They do not exist. They do not exist. They do not exist.
Monogamy and non-toxic men. Does that exist then?
Sure, but what I hear is these women who are like, I'm so in touch with my vibe and my feelings and my chakras open, and they still fuck the same dudes. They still fuck the same dudes. Stop.
Because it's not their chakras that are open.
There's so many. Yeah, it's not their chakras. There's so many.
They're the problem. The devil dicks. They get us. If they have a devil dick. That's why girls fuck losers.
Okay, but hold on. But that's what I said before. You keep rewarding aspects of the opposite sex that you complain about later. Then you guys have chiseled. You have created the world that you are literally complaining about.
But we love it.
We're the ones who are toxic.
No, you know what the thing is? We welcome it and we accept it, and that's why it keeps happening, and that's why we can complain about, because you know what that's called? That's called insanity, when you do the same thing over again and expect a different result.
But maybe it's
insanity is actually a lack of sanity. That's actually the definition.
Maybe it's not insanity because it's what you guys think is hot, and arguably, maybe Michael can speak to this better than me. Maybe that's not fucking insanity. Maybe there's an evolutionary reason why you guys are selecting for these fucking traits.
Thank you.
If you look at the dark triad traits, why do women select for dark triad traits? Because probably those guys are going to be more effective in the fucking world, right? The guy who's narcissistic sadistic, the guy who's a bit psychopathic, the guy who is Machiavellian, that guy's probably going to make his way in the world better than the guy who's a fucking boring fucker who's a nice guy.
The truth, finally, the truth.
And that's why you guys want to fuck them.
Listen, but it's been happening for centuries. You're constantly saying, why do you pick the bad guys? Why do you pick obviously it's innate. The bad guy just seems better to us for a myriad of reasons.
Man, I gotta put you in the same room.
The bad guy is also short for a badass dude.
Listen,
so
we keep doing it over and over and over again. Why do we keep doing it? No one's talking about that. No one's talking about that.
Because it's a learned behavior.
Over and over again.
It's a learned behavior.
We keep doing it. It's not only learned because the bad boy that pulls up in the motorcycle with the muscles turns us on. As soon as he
don't
pulls
forget
up,
the tattoos, the thrill and the adventure, the mystery.
As soon as he pulls up, naturally we're like, he can get it.
Yeah, because even if he's homeless, and he lays down the good dick.
With a bike and a tattoos, what the hell would you guys think?
When an old fat man in a Bentley rolls up, that's when.
All right, wait.
I like guys that are nice. Like, for real, though.
Yeah, not long term.
No,
sure.
Even well, I do get the 6 month ick, but if I go to a bar and I see a bunch of hot guys, I will not think any of them's cute at all. You have to I have to get to know somebody first and their personality, and then that grows on me. Yeah. And I tend to go for nice guys, but then also I get the 6 month ick where I'm like, oh, I go all in, and then after 6 months, I'm like, oh.
What's the 6 month ick?
When Jason Momoa were to walk in, you wouldn't automatically be like, he can get it?
I don't
but he's rich.
If I like guys,
if he wasn't rich.
This goes only after the money.
Wait.
If he wasn't rich.
Hold on, Mike, do you have more super chats to go?
No.
No.
What's the 6 month?
I want to know.
Michelle.
I want to know what
Michelle, I totally agree with you. I need to meet him.
What's the 6 month ick?
If I go to a bar, I do not like guys off attraction. I don't like them off looks or anything like that. Because if a guy's a dick, I don't like dicks. So they have to call me. I have to talk to them. I have to talk to them first, and I have to text them first because I have really bad anxiety, and I'm social anxiety. I have to get drunk before I can go hang out and be social with somebody.
So I'm gonna get this girl a fucking drink. Let's go.
Respectfully, you didn't get those boobs for nice guys. Respectfully, you didn't get those boobs for nice guys.
I got my boobs 10 years ago.
I know, but you didn't get nice guys.
I got my boobs 10 years ago also. So they're like,
wait, but how do you know she got her boobs?
I'm gonna be 32. I'm gonna be 32 this year also. So but I just feel I feel like once I like somebody, I go all in, and I like them off of their how they treat me. They treat me nice. They
what does nice mean?
Hey, what is cool story, Michelle? I asked you what this 6 month ick was.
This is what I'm getting to.
Yeah.
So they give me attention. They go all in. Then I'm all in. And then maybe it's me going all in too fast or what. Then I want to spend all my time with them. Yeah. After 6 months, they get super interested, and then everything about them just disgusts me. They're cute. I never noticed their teeth before.
Why?
Right? All of a sudden they have a weird.
Oh my god!
I'm like, oh, I don't like that. All of a sudden,
but that happens for me really soon.
All of a sudden they walk funny, and I'm like, why do you walk like that?
Mine happens
everything just starts bugging me, and I'm starting pulling away. I'm like,
Mr. They
start grabbing more.
Hold on, wait.
Ashley.
Yes.
Ashley, you said this.
Ashley, then Troy.
Someone else said that they experienced the same thing.
I have, but a little bit sooner than 6 months.
Well, mine's
so
6 minutes.
And then I start to like the person. Then maybe the veil comes off a little bit, and you're but that guy's shoes. Why does he wear the same shoes every single time?
It's just because I feel like we go too fast at the beginning. And then
because you're looking at the personality, you're like, this is what this could be.
No. Gentlemen, this is a message for the gentlemen. This is why, especially you successful gentlemen out there, you always got to have a prenup. This bitch is gonna divorce you because she don't like your shoes all of a sudden.
Okay, no.
Jen,
I would not get married to you.
Now I'm saying her.
Adam, hold it. Go ahead, Troy.
Mr. Tomasi, I present to you the light switch effect.
Yes.
You remember that? The light switch effect? This is what this is about. So they're getting 6 months
Plead
in.
your case,
they are,
counselor.
Your Honour. They are getting 6 months in or 6 hours in, and they're like, fuck, I don't like that guy's shoes, I don't like that guy's haircut. It's not about the fucking shoes. It's because something in the dynamics changed. Probably because what you you
the spark's
said.
gone.
No, it is.
No, what? But why does the spark gone? You said.
Because I feel like I go too fat.
No,
like,
but you said the guy starts to show.
It's just
go more interest in you.
No.
No. You said the guy starts to get really into you, and then you're like, oh, hang on a minute, look at his
It's
shoes.
not so much about getting into me because I don't go forth also.
When you've conquered it,
I think it's just like it meets a.
I think she's trying to fit.
It meets a plateau. It's like a plateau.
I think she's trying to fit him in her life.
It's like there's no more. You both go in, but then it gets boring.
It gets
It's
boring.
at this end.
All right, so we've established that familiarity breeds contempt.
Yes.
Basically, that's what
Jen, this has happened to you?
And shorter though, 3 months.
Okay.
And this is why monogamy is fucked.
The beginning of the 3 months is very, very exciting, and then you get used to him. And that's why I stress to men, you must have balance. Keep her on her toes. You don't have to whip her ass, but keep her on her toes. Be mysterious. Keep your mystery. Men get comfortable. Men get comfortable very quickly. They're like, oh, nice girl.
Exactly.
Ooh, you make me a sandwich.
Are any of you ladies married in here? Are any of you ladies married?
Tell these bitches
Who the fuck would still get married?
I don't know who would marry your ass.
Real quick.
Want to get married.
I want to get married.
Real quick,
So none of you ladies are married? Are any of you ladies in a relationship?
No. Remember, I'm a born again.
So we're all
virgin.
taking advice from single chicks who can't keep a man.
Hey, let me give you guys a great piece of advice.
I don't take advice from single women.
You're not single?
No.
Who you fucking Sydney?
I got many women.
Sister wives.
Gentlemen, for those of you who are out there listening, a great piece of advice for men is to listen to this predominant strategy that women tell you and then just do the opposite.
Yeah.
It's very easy.
No,
when
they
women
need
tell
to
you to do something, just do the opposite. No, what you're saying was not what you said before was a good idea.
Yeah.
It's not the predominant strategy. The predominant strategy is become vulnerable in the very beginning, be incredibly sweet to her in the beginning. That is the predominant strategy. So listen to what that is. Just do the opposite. Just don't listen to women give you advice
That's
on how to
a
pick
bad
up women,
strategy.
and
I
you'll be
agree.
fantastic. Because the deer does not teach you how to kill the deer. That's the way it works. So just do the opposite. You'll be fine.
I agree with
Actually, you know what? I agree with you because I had dated somebody who was having issues with me, and I was like, "Look, I can't give you advice. I just know what you're doing is not right. You need to find a mentor."
What was he doing that was not right? Out of interest, specifically.
Emotionally breaking down, like
What, crying?
No, it was just like something very simple in his life was happening, and he was showing me that he cannot be a great decision maker.
Okay.
So if like you said,
leader.
hey, right now we need to jump out this window, I would turn to him and be like, why? I want to never turn to him and be like, why? I want to be like, okay, let's go.
You've got to be the oak tree. You know.
Can I ask Michael a question?
that bitch!
So we obviously have all on your show, my show. We have women galore. When you say never listen to them, how literal are you?
Not very much. Maybe 86%.
I was going to say, yeah, you're such a mathematician, 86. I apply the 80-20 rule to pretty much anything in life. 80% of what they say, I'm just like, blah, blah, blah. But there is 20% I'm like, all right, I like
because
that one.
because
I like
you're
that
going to
one.
find some women. So when I will listen to a woman is when a woman says, yes, I tend to like toxic guys. I'm like, okay, this woman is not lying. It's like Bilzerian had a great.
fits your narrative?
Bilzerian had a great quote one time. He said, if a girl comes up to me and he says, I've only been with 3 guys, he's like, she's probably been with 6. But if she comes up to me and he says, I've been with 83 guys, she's probably telling the fucking truth.
Yeah.
Right.
Or she's an actual whore that's been with 300
for sure.
guys.
But so
downplaying a massive number.
The thing is, when I hear a woman, when I hear a woman state things that I know to be true, then I'll listen. So when they talk about actual attraction triggers, I'm attracted to a bad boy. I like tattoo sleeves and all these kind of stuff. I'm like, okay, this woman is probably telling the truth. What I hear most of the time, 80% of the time from women, is they're describing things that make them feel comfortable, and they're conflating those things with things that they are attracted to.
Yeah.
Things that make a man attractive are things that cause him to gain power in the relationship. Things that are comfortable that a man does cause him to lose power in a relationship.
But Michael, would you therefore agree with what part of her point then? Because she's saying keep the woman on her toes.
Yeah, but that's actually good advice. But let me point this out. Jen also admitted she got good dick from a homeless dude who was sleeping on a fucking beach. So generally, she is going to at least be honest. She's going to. The thing is, she's not trying to cope with her advice, right? Again, I'll say this real quick, guys. Listen, the reason why women say for you to always be yourself is so they can pick out who the fucking losers are quicker. That's why they do it. No, do not be yourself. Be the best version of yourself, the most attractive version of yourself. If be yourself means become fucking fat, like sit on OnlyFans and do nothing but play video games, stop fucking being yourself. Be the best version of yourself you can. Do not listen to women like, express your feelings. Maybe if you just tell her how you're feeling, you take her some flowers, then maybe she'll like you. No, she likes flowers, not from men. She likes flowers from men she's attracted to. And that's the part she won't fucking tell you. She's not going to tell you that part. She's not going to tell you that part. She's going to tell you, what was that one girl on, this girl on TikTok, she was talking about, I need him to do this and buy this for me and all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, no, you don't need men to do that. You need men you're attracted to do that. But the problem is because women are often, not all the time, but often very confused on what their own personal attraction triggers are. They start confused. Like, again, Allie, you probably had friends like this. In fact, I can think of one that we have in common who keeps going after the same toxic guy over and over again. She keeps saying he's nice, and we meet him, and he's like, he's not fucking nice at all. What are you talking about?
Women say like what they want, and they don't actually go for that.
Correct.
They're like, I want a nice, kind soul that's not going to cheat on me, and then they go
and fuck the shit out of you on the weekends.
Basically, guys, it's not about being. You've got to be. It's not just about being yourself. You've got to be the most toxic version of yourself. All right, because that's what a lot of these women want. Do you know what I mean? If you want to fucking ace it in the modern dating marketplace, you've got to be a little bit fucking bad boy, haven't you? Unfortunately, and it's sad.
Toxic is a term. I think being aggressive and being like direct and being
direct for sure.
I think non-emotional. More
danger is my business.
For me.
But this, you said before, we're toxic. We like fucking toxic guys.
No,
but you're choosing somebody.
I don't think it's toxic. I think for a guy, it's a man having options. I mean, Rolo talks about this extensively.
Like a woman having options.
It's like, let's say I have your number. I don't know about your number. Your number. That's right. That's why you can't keep a man. Disagreeable as fuck. But let's say I have all your numbers. So let's say, what's that?
What makes you think I can't keep a man?
I can tell you.
Maybe I don't want to keep you.
Somehow all the witchcraft has rubbed off on you, baby.
First
and
of
I got it.
all, I don't believe in witchcraft. I don't believe in witchcraft. I don't believe in witchcraft. Second of all, y'all are not worth keeping. And that's why you can't cope. Y'all are not worth keeping. We want you. We don't need you. And you can't cope.
Gentlemen, let this be a lesson.
Ms. Vice President, give me Madam Vice President. Give me 1 second.
Let this be a lesson.
You'll never
why
find
you need
love.
options as a man. Eventually, you're going to want to pick a good one, maybe in a mine somewhere. But when this option starts going all Kamala Harris on you, X, cut it off, done, keep it moving. Because the last thing you want is a disagreeable, aggressive, annoying, argumentative woman. It's the last thing a successful man wants.
For the record,
you just fucked a homeless dude, all right? So I don't know what you're talking about.
Let him talk. Wait, let me say something. Yeah. For the record.
Was he a hot homeless dude?
Wait, for the record, right?
Yeah.
On my podcast, sometimes I get female energy from a man, and I treat him as such. I've never talked back to Michael. I've never talked back to Rolo. I have respect for men who are masculine. Because they'll kick your ass off the show. No,
yeah, they wouldn't have your ass back.
No, and if they kick me off, so the fuck what? I got my own show.
What's your show?
So here's the.
What's your show?
On the Block with Jen.
Okay.
On the Block with Jen.
Joe Biden's vice president out here.
So here's the thing. You're argumentative as well. You give me a lot of feminine energy, and when
how many other women have I argued with on this panel, Jen?
Because
how many other women have I argued with?
Because I won't let you get over on me.
Because I'll G-check your shit.
No, you can't G-check me. How? Put the cocaine away. Put the cocaine away. Okay.
No, get the cocaine now.
All right. Hold on.
Bring it out, Jay.
Hold on a second. First off, we're going to a club after this. Let's save the cocaine.
Save your coke.
Save the cocaine for later. Let's not wear out the cocaine.
No, you don't.
I get it. When you look around, when you look around and you're the least hot chick on a panel, you gotta go with different. It's a blue ocean strategy.
Okay, this is.
I get it. I get it. When you're the oldest, worst-looking chick on a panel, you gotta go a different direction.
You tried it. You tried it. Why so much attention on me? I intimidate you.
Because you're the annoying one.
Why so much attention on me? No, because I talk back to you and I shut you down.
No, you're not shutting me down.
Keep your nose.
Hey, stop.
It says
Adam, stop. Because the problem is, stop. You guys are going to shut each other down. That's not going to work.
Okay, your Barbie is a whore.
Be in charge for a while.
I didn't hear anything you said.
You mean it's 10 Barbies?
Your Barbie is a whore. Your girl you talking about, she's a whore.
The 10 bitches.
She's a whore. And she better deal you in a minute. She would better deal you in a minute because you're a feminine man.
I don't take advice from 45-year-old.
Okay, listen, stop. It's not really. Okay, stop. Guys, you guys are getting personal for no reason. There's no reason.
By the way, I'm totally
But Jen, you're getting worse. Stop. Jen, just stop. It's getting worse.
I'm totally cool with this conversation.
I can definitely be the bouncer.
I'll go home to a hot girl. You'll go home to the homeless.
And you'll go home to a whore. You'll go home to a whore.
No, she's not. Okay,
You'll go home to
don't
a
talk
whore
about my
who
friend.
better
Stop.
deal you.
Stop. Don't talk about my. Jen, stop! Don't talk about my friend Sydney like that. Number one, and number two.
If Tate walked in, she'd fucking kick this dude out the door. Tate walked in.
Tate's a friend of his. He was just with Andrew Tate a couple weeks ago. Stop.
Right.
Stop. Listen, let me read this real quick. Zan 10, Rolo, you didn't answer my question about Tate. Also, Sauce, when are you going to have Brittany Venti on Valuetainment? Stop blocking me. The next one is...
I don't know who Brittany Venti is.
That's probably a good for the best.
Waldemar Perez, sign language detected. I don't know what that means, but okay, go. Got to those. Anything else?
I got some other ones here. Where we got? Sauce, I feel your pain, brother. This is why Nat is your right-hand woman. The Nat versus Consuela in a cage match. In a cage match at WrestleMania next year.
Because if I told Nat to keep it quiet, she'd be like, "Yes, sir," and keep it moving. This one would keep arguing.
Yes, I would, bitch.
Exactly.
Yes, I would.
And that's why you can't keep a man, and that's why you fuck homeless dudes.
You don't know anything about me.
All right,
You don't know anything about me. I can tell.
Stop. Both of you. Stop. Listen.
What trade you in for?
Listen.
I can tell
Hey, cut the mics. Listen. Cut the mics. Amber, everyone's mic. Cut it down real quick.
There's a lot of sexual energy.
We didn't do anything.
What's that?
I'm just into it.
Guess what I'm doing right now. Hang on.
We're about to make out and bring some peace to this
Hold up.
Do it.
Go.
You need to make out for some attention.
Peacemakers.
Now it's a party.
All right, here we go. Y'all need Jesus.
I think I just found him tonight.
Christ is king.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, there you go. Rolo, could you please expound upon the big head babies theory and the sexy sons theory?
Oh my God.
Right now.
So the big head babies theory has to do with, I mean, you tell me if this is one you're talking about. The big head babies theory has to do with the fact that Homo sapien children are born and they're pretty much
premature.
They're premature. They can't do anything for the first 3 months.
Aww.
So when a deer comes out, a deer can immediately walk, but a baby is born premature. It's because so that the large cranium can fit through the birth canal, and so for the first 3 years of existence, it really doesn't do anything. Whereas like a bear cub or some other animal, they can already feed themselves. So that's the thing.
Well,
so it's an evolutionary adaptation, and part of that adaptation was then men and women had to pair bond to work together for at least those first 3 years in order to raise the children. So that's the reason why Homo sapiens actually are more selective than almost any other mammal. If you put two cats together, they'll just fuck. It doesn't matter what their astrology signs are. They'll just have sex. That's the way it works. Same thing with elephants. Same thing with lions. Same thing with you put them. They're not selective. Homo sapien men are more selective than most other mammals. It's the truth. But most men will not have, if they're sober, not have sex with extremely unattractive women, whereas most other mammals will.
Right, also, let me take something out of that
primates are also born mostly able to walk and do things very quickly, whereas Homo sapiens are not able to do that.
Can't do that. Now, here the other thing is the psychological part of this, and it kind of goes to what Jen was saying earlier on here. It's like you want a guy who can be dominant. You want a guy who can kick ass. You want a guy, what do we say, has slit throats and change diapers, right?
Yeah.
That was the whole thing.
Kiss babies and slit throats.
So when women get really irate at this, but this is via the big head babies theory here. It's like via evolution. Is that because women are the vulnerable sex, because throughout our evolutionary history in our ancestral past, women had to spend at least 9 months gestating a child. She was helpless. She could be killed by pretty much damn near anything, right? So they needed men to protect them. That's why a dominant man who has musculature, who is tall, who has a broad shoulders, a six-pack abs, who has a capacity for violence, was the one that was naturally selected, because that was the guy he was the protector who could protect the vulnerable and very fragile female and the baby, who required lots and lots of attention because we invest in our offspring. Women have the higher reproductive cost. So what happens as a result of that, for women's mentality, women's psyches, men's psyches, there is this natural hierarchy that's already there, looking for a guy who has competence, can like I said, slit throats and change diapers. Looking for a guy that, like when we ask, well, how come, why do I like the bad boys? This is why you like the bad boys, because those were the guys in your evolutionary past who could protect the vulnerable children and the fragile children and the vulnerable females as a result. So what happens is there is a natural hierarchy there. So women are looking up, or they want to get with a guy that they can respect, but also also admire, that they can look up to that. So there's this natural dominance hierarchy amongst men, women, and then children. We apply this in our religion. We apply this in our societies and our tribalism up to the national level. So what we do as a result of our babies needing to be taken care of for a very long time, because we have very large heads, we rely on our own on intellect and intelligence more than anything else. As a result of that, it requires men to be the protectors, men to have a capacity for violence, and for men to actually be deferred to by the vulnerable women. That's what we're fighting against right now. We're still the same animals and the same critters that we were on the sub-Saharan African savannah from 100, 200,000 years ago.
That's where humans came from, Nick.
So does that
That's where humans came from, Nick.
Living in medieval societies, and living in basically what we have now, which is almost really primitive, but with technology that is godlike technology right now. That's what's fucking things up. You want to know why our boys are like not men? You want to know why we're wondering whether we're a boy or a girl? You want to know why guys seem more isolated, or that the internet is a big introversion rather than extroversion? It's because we're still the same critters we used to be. We live in these antiquated societies and these organizations and these cities and everything else that but we're also dealing with this computer and broadcasting to the entire world right now with godlike technology. So trying to catch up and stay along with that. But we're still wondering why we like the bad boys. You like the bad boys because the bad boys were who took care of business on the fucking Sahara.
So does that
sub-Saharan African continent.
Do you take women off the hook now for choosing quote unquote the bad boy, or being more attracted to the bad boy?
It is what it is. That's exactly what it is.
I agree. I don't think there is a hook to take them off. I think, like you said, this whole thing it's amoral. It's not immoral. It's
not bad or good. It just is.
It just fucking is. And guys, people watching this need to fucking get with the program, because actually one of the problems is, as Michael was saying earlier, we're now at this evolved state where we don't really need to be high T. We don't really need, in order to be effective in the world. But guess what? Women's sexual strategy hasn't caught up with that yet. Women are still attracted subconsciously to that fucking alpha bad boy, chab, however you want to describe it, right? But unfortunately, guys are becoming more and more pussified, right? And if you want to do some damage in the dating world, metaphorically, of course, then you need to get in touch with that edge. You need to have some of that masculinity and bring it back into your interactions. Otherwise, you're going to get fucking steamrolled out there. I'm sorry, but that's just how it is.
And that should also say, that goes back to her point here too. It's like when she gets the ick after 6 months or something. Oh yeah, because of that familiarity. Now suddenly you're a family member and you're not the hot guy that you want to fuck anymore.
Probably the guy. I'm just speculating here. Probably the guy became a bit of a pussy, and he probably became a bit of a pusher. I was like, oh my god, you're so beautiful, blah blah blah. And she's like, oh yeah, I'm not fucking feeling this anymore.
Or it was probably the roommate syndrome.
Then it goes back to no. What it is probably a 6 month ick or whatever. Then the guy starts to be like you said.
Yeah.
Oh, I love you, blah blah blah. Well, now the bad boy isn't there.
That's how we were at the beginning. No, it's never a bad boy. Like, I like good guys from the beginning, but I think we. But I know what you mean about each other's parents and our families the first weekend. But I know what you mean.
First weekend, you're meeting families.
No, but I know what she means about.
Hello, red flag.
Okay, my last boyfriend, I met him. I knew him. I traveled for like a month without him, or like 3 months, but he had a girlfriend, whatever. It was Father's Day weekend.
Wait. You're spewing red flags. He had a different girlfriend.
It was Father's Day weekend.
Was he with his kids?
No, I went to Temecula to visit my dad for Father's Day, because it was like 3 months past Father's Day. He's like, hey, do you care if I join? And I'm like, well, I don't own the bar. I guess you could join. So he automatically met my whole family like that.
He happened to be she happened to be visiting home in Temecula when they met. That's what she's saying.
But do you really then the next day we met my mom. Everything. I feel like it just kind of I don't know,
clicks. But
it moves fast.
I got two super chats.
It moves so fast, and I get grossed out, and I don't like it anymore.
So do you really like nice guys if you grow
tired
of them?
I don't like guys that are dicks.
Aria, do you like nice guys?
But then in 6 months. But then in 6 months,
I do not like them at all.
Yeah, but if they're nice,
I don't give second chances.
That's contradictory.
But in 6 months, you get bored of them. So do you really like them?
It dies out.
But 6 months is not a long time.
It's boring. It just dies out, and it's more like okay, we're already done. There's nothing else. So the spark's gone, the excitement's gone, the honeymoon honeymoon phase is over. Like there's nothing else
Yes,
left.
because you don't wanna-
Not-
you don't wanna
once the
nest
spark's
with
gone,
him
it's-
anymore.
Once the spark's gone, it's hard to get that spark back. Like with my ex, we didn't have sex
Unless
for
it's
3
CJ
years.
Sparks,
and we
that
still-
shit's always there.
But my ex, we didn't have
Hell
sex
yeah.
for 3. My ex, we didn't have sex for over 2 years, 3 years, and like we never had sex, and he still stayed for some reason.
Because you're beautiful for some
But it's
reason.
like you're not getting even kisses or sex or
You
anything
didn't
like
get
that.
sex for 3 years and he
I mean,
stayed?
he did
Did you
that.
eventually? No, you told me this, but
You do that?
you started having sex with him again?
No, never.
What?
Do you think it's gonna be like a status thing?
Yeah, no, I do agree it's a status thing. There's no way like a normal dude with abundance.
I thought guys would stay with me
He's
just
not
for
getting
that.
from me, he's getting from someone else.
100%.
He had other relationships.
All right, hold on.
So-
Stop. You're hurting our chat's ears. I just want to let's bring it down 10 decibel levels here. And you were asking Aria?
Yeah, Aria, what do you think about? Do you like nice guys?
I feel like nice guys, like when you go out on a date with somebody and you're like, oh, this dude's a nice dude, you automatically get put into like the 90-day like thing. You're
Yeah.
gonna go.
The 6 How do you months?
You don't fuck the nice guy for 90 days.
Exactly. This is fucking.
See if he sticks
Oh,
around.
let her cook. I'll get it. I'll get it.
Aria, move a little bit to your left. Aria, can you move a little bit to your left?
Because women,
I mean, sort of.
women break rules for alpha males, and they make more rules for beta males. And that rule
Go
is no sex for you until you prove to me that you have value
Aria,
added.
They're waiting 90 days for you. This is a common thing.
90 days.
Yeah.
Waiting period.
Yeah.
Okay, keep going. So you're
that's like medical insurance.
Wait, you said wait 3 months to have sex with you?
Absolutely. If he's
But
the
you're
nice
3
guy,
months and someone's waited?
Because if there's a dude that you actually
Plenty of
want to date, I feel like
I think you think in your head you want to follow the rules.
I give it up the first day, but like they stay.
Okay, so continue.
Aria, I will bet there's no difference between 3 months and 3 dates. I bet there's zero.
Definitely the 3 months.
Wait. Let's let Aria get her 2 cents in here.
I mean, just based on my life, 90 days you wait for the nice guy, and then you see how that goes. And I don't know. I have a high sex drive, but I only like fuck one person at a time.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't need that sex for the 90 days. I can wait for it. But I've also had a sugar daddy.
Wait, but what if you had sex with him after the 90 days and it sucked and you wasted 90 days for
No
no
dude is
reason?
waiting 90
But you
days.
just wasted 90 days of your life
She
for
didn't
no
waste the
reason.
90 days. She had 3 other guys she was seeing. She's fine.
All right, wait, hold on.
When you could have done it on the first date.
Wait, Troy, go.
So this is fucking dating strategy 101. So this is why, guys, you've got to present as the more edgy bad boy when you go into these dating scenarios, because otherwise you're going to get put in the fucking 90-day waiting list.
No, you're getting put in the dude. I just want to fuck. Wait.
Exactly.
Horrible.
That's the
Horrible,
way to
Aria.
it.
Dudes, you just want to fuck. What a terrible place. Put a 1 in the chat if you just don't want to be in the dudes you want to fuck category. Oh, no, that's a disaster, bro. The dudes you just want to fuck. Here's another thing, Aria. When you're in the dudes you just want to fuck category, you know what those guys can do if they want? They can date you for real.
Exactly.
That's always the way.
Exactly.
I'm telling you, it is. Every girl that I have been in a relationship with, very early on, first, second, or third date, we had sexual intercourse. Wasn't fucking 90 days. And then later on, I was like, yeah, I want you to stay. And then they were my girlfriend. That's how it works. We have the option. So this idea of us waiting 90 days, I'm going to tell you something right now, Aria. You're a beautiful girl. If a dude waits 90 days for you, you are going to get bored of him because that guy has no fucking options.
Yeah. Exactly.
And no offense. Hold on, Troy, give me 1 second.
Just
no offense. Aren't you a stripper?
Yeah.
Who the fuck is waiting 90 days to have sex with a stripper? No offense.
It's typically harder to get sex from a stripper.
I'd rather have sex the first date.
If I find out,
I don't like it.
if I find out, and I listen, I'm no angel over here. I've been with all sorts of women, but
Yes, you've made that clear.
no, I'm not even like
You
I'm
said
just
that
saying.
you were 10
I've been with any end of the spectrum, as we talked about.
All right,
No, dude.
all right.
If I know you're a stripper and you hit me with a 90-day spiel, dude, no, that's not gonna.
But just can I just add to, can I just add to my
you give-
Wait. Why do you have less respect because my title is a stripper? Exotic
Okay,
dancer.
do you want to answer that own question?
I want, yeah.
I don't think it's an issue of respect.
Okay,
but
how
go
about
ahead.
this? How about this? I'll
like.
answer it politely. Many dudes will bang you. I don't know a lot of dudes that will bring you home to mom and marry you.
Because you're an exotic dancer?
A stripper, yes.
Why not? The way that I
That's
see
something
it,
you probably should have thought about before you got on the pole.
Hold up. Tiffany.
What?
A mattress actress.
I got something to say about the 90-day thing. So, one, no man that, like, would actually wait 90 days when he has other options. They're gonna go to other
Correct.
people. So it's like the whole thing about having sex on the first date. If you don't fuck the guy on the first date, he's gonna go to the next bitch that wants to fuck him.
If you have
But
options,
the thing is, any man of high value is gonna have a bunch of women around him because you know what? When you make a lot of money, you get a lot of bitches.
Yeah.
When you don't make a lot of money, no bitches are around. Maybe Jen with the homeless guy.
When is DVD going to hire her to do another entertainment show?
But the thing
versus if you wanted to be for another guy.
The thing is, though, I wouldn't make a guy wait 90 days. That's like absolutely insane.
Can you imagine her like versus like her and Jedediah Bila had like a show where they argued with each other? How incredible that would be!
But I agree with you. But there's not a lot of Rolos. There's not a lot of Michaels. There's not a lot of Troys. Not a lot of Adams that are around that are a high value man. The average person's really not high value.
But if I like someone, I'm gonna hop on that dick. I'm not gonna make him wait 90 days.
Something tells me she's not lying. Go ahead,
Can I just
Troy.
add to what Michael said, just to reinforce what Michael said? Absolutely fucking bang on, right? Because, you know, there's not this dichotomy between the dude who smashes on the first night versus the dude who waits 3 months. The reality is, you know, a woman may think that. She may compartmentalize it in her mind like that and think, well, he's a guy I just want to fuck, and then this is the serious relationship dude. But the reality is, once you fucked a couple of times, that oxytocin kicks in. Those feelings, the feels start to kick in. And then she's like, oh, hang on a minute, actually. And then you can start to tone it down. You can start to tone down the player side. That's how, like Michael said, you know, like my ex-girlfriend, we met exactly like that. We were fucking casual at the beginning. We banged on like the second date or whatever it was. And then, you know, the feels grew and then you become boyfriend and girlfriend, right? So you win. The guy who smashes early wins on every fucking level. Right?
But
the
also there's also the chase. Like if you're going after a bad boy, you want that chase. So when it's easy, it's not always exciting.
There it is.
So if
Okay.
there's a man of quality and the girl's like, all right, I'll give it up the first day.
Okay,
He's
can
like,
I-
all right,
can I-
well,
let me,
he's
complaining about
that. And I'm not saying
I just like to hear Troy say
Allie,
the
do
word
you really
smash
think we
it.
give a fuck if you just want to use us for sex? Do you really think that that's a consideration of men?
I mean,
That's
like,
absurd.
sometimes
You know
it
better
is
than
not
that.
a challenge, but that's what you do.
Hold on. Let me tell you something else, Allie. You would have sex with us with the full intention of saying, hey, this is just a guy I'm going to fuck, and we'd still make you our girlfriend. We'd still make you our girlfriend. So there's no point in you making us wait. It is utter nonsense.
I think there's a
I think if you think of it from her point of view,
I don't think that's the thing. Like 90 days is insane. Absolutely.
Yeah,
And I don't think that there's a conscious
What are you talking about? She waits 90 days. There's nothing wrong with
No,
it.
I think it's crazy, but I think
thing where you're like, I'm gonna make him
Go ahead,
wait.
Allie.
But like, I mean,
Stephanie,
if
you make him wait 90
waited
days?
Two
No,
or
how long you
three
make him wait,
times of
Stephanie?
hanging out
No
to
one
get to know
experienced a
somebody
connection
better.
with anyone in their life, a real connection.
yeah.
I've heard the third date rule, but not like a 90
Okay, to be the devil's advocate, I do not wait 90 days, but just to think about her, because I was a cocktail waitress in a strip club and I have a lot of stripper friends who have a lot of options, and they see so much bullshit that they really try to weed out the bullshit, and they're like, okay, am I sleeping with this guy because this guy's trying to sleep with me because I'm a stripper and they want to like fulfill some type of check mark, or are they sleeping with me because they actually like want to be with me?
I got news for you, ladies. Let me dispel this real quick. It's never a check mark. Sex is fucking fun.
If a guy didn't
Sex,
fuck
hold on,
me,
stop talking. Everyone,
saying
stop.
that.
Guys, it's never a check mark. There's no notches on the belt notches on the fucking
saying what
bedpost.
women
Sex
think.
is awesome.
I'm saying what
I like to
women
have
think.
sex because sex is fun.
If
There's
a
no
guy-
notches on a
Of course,
bedpost. Stop believing that
If
shit.
a guy did not
But look,
fuck
Michael,
me
I
the
get
first
that. I'm
time
just
I
saying
went
from
with him,
like
I
a
would be
different person's
so
point of
Right,
view.
hold on. All right, I got. Before you go, okay, you're next. But let me throw this one out there because I usually right around this time when we have this conversation, I throw this story out there. Okay, so I used to work in wine and spirits. Okay, so I would go to like liquor promos and on-premise, off-premise stuff, so martini fest and shit like that. So I have to go and choose the ladies to go out there and be the poor girls and everything else. So through the course of my working in this field, I'm listening to these ladies talk with each other, and one conversation they were having with each other was, would you have sex on the first date? Or would you have like a same night lay? And one's asking the other, and they're just kind of like, oh yeah, of course I would. Or I have done it in the past, whatever else. But not if he was boyfriend material. I would make him wait if he was boyfriend material. Oh, wow. But if he wasn't, and he was hot, and he was, she was drunk, he was cute, and one thing led to another, then she would break the rules for the guy who was sort of the fuck of opportunity versus the guy who is the guy that might make a good long-term guy. They'll make that guy wait 90 days or however long it is. So I'm listening to this happen, and they're both sort of talking to each other and laughing about this. And this is an example of cognitive dissonance. So you have two concepts. Do I fuck the guy, the hot guy, on a same night lay because he's there and it looks like it's fun and I want to have sex with the guy, or do I make the dude wait because he seems like he might be a good dude for the long haul? It's cads versus dads. I think I want to stay with this guy. I'll take him home and introduce him to my parents. He might be somebody who's actually a good long-term boyfriend, but I'm going to make him wait. But I'm not going to make the hot guy wait whatsoever.
Depends what. Sex is always bad unless.
Hey, Kirsten, it's a microphone. I promise you.
There you go.
What's that? I don't base it off of money, looks, time frame, stuff. I base it off of the connection I have with the person, because without
Which
that,
is based on what?
Sex is bad.
Which
it's
is
always
based on
bad
what?
without the chemistry.
What is the connection based on?
It's like it's almost like gravity. Like you can't see it. You can't like.
Is it like helium? Is it odorless?
I've got some books for you. It's quite describable.
Can I say something
about because like if I go out on a date with a guy and he won't fuck me the first night, I'm like, what?
Yes,
yeah, like, excuse me, I'm coming after.
Okay, listen, Aria.
First psychology goes a long way with me.
Aria, let me ask you a question. Aria, have you ever been on a date with a guy and he didn't come off as a nice guy and you were very attracted to him and you didn't make him wait 90 days? Has that ever happened? You put him in the not nice guy category. Has that ever happened?
Oh, if he's a not nice guy, I won't have sex with him.
You won't have sex with him all. Have any of you ladies done that before, where it's like, well, I don't want to have a long-term thing with him, but he's hot, so I'm going to have sex with him as a short-term option? Has any of you done it?
Yes.
You're all lying. You have obviously done this. Raise your fucking hand. Raise your fucking hand.
We've done it.
Okay. So here's.
I've never had a one-night stand with a man.
So here's the point.
With a woman.
Here's the point. What do you think the guy you
So I don't waste
microphone? It's called
Thank
microphone.
you, Michelle.
Okay. I don't waste my time.
What do you guys think? What do you guys think about the guys who then find out later that you made them wait, and then you let Chad fuck on the first night? What do you think that does to the sanctity?
That laughter right there, that's fucking cognitive dissonance right there. That's exactly
Give Kirsten the microphone, please.
Michael, I usually know if I want to have sex with somebody, usually within the first 10, 15, 20 minutes.
Sure, okay.
Me too. Yeah.
So I just wanted to say something about women. I wanted to say something about women and sex. I think women, a lot of the times, if you don't enjoy sex, don't have sex. I see a lot of women, whether it's and I'm glad you wait. 90 days? Mm-hmm. That's your business. If it makes you feel good, great. But I think that women use sex as a tool. They don't really enjoy it. That's why they have all these stipulations, right? I'm going to wait till this because I may not like it. I'm going to wait till this because you don't have money. I'm going to wait till this because, you may be... But it's like,
they use it as a weapon, too.
Exactly. It's like a card they play. Sex is a card they play. Don't have sex unless you enjoy sex. Women enjoy sex, but we've been conditioned to think it's a gift or a prize or a reward.
No, actually, I'm sorry. We're the ones who've been conditioned to believe that, because women have told us that.
Right?
Yes,
but women
that
do
is
that
the problem,
all
though.
the
And then
time.
men treat it like that because they don't have any abundance, so they are the ones who treat it like
I think
prize.
CJ Sparks has a thing or two to say about this.
And then it's $9.99 on OnlyFans. Go ahead.
Go ahead, CJ. Rock and roll, CJ.
I just came in where she said
Let 'em have it.
that women don't like sex, but I think you were making a point. I don't think you were making a
Aria,
statement.
can I ask you a question? All totally objective here. I'm not trying to be judgmental. You really don't see how a man who is like say top 5% wage earner, has abundance with women, would say that you being an exotic dancer wouldn't hold that against you at all for a long-term relationship. You legitimately don't see that as a thing.
Depends on the character.
So truly, I don't understand why men put such labels on exotic dancers.
But do they? My first question is, do they? Okay, so you at least admit they do. Okay. Now, if you don't understand, we can explain it. But go ahead. Go ahead. Ask your question.
I would love for you to do that, because getting into exotic dancing,
by the way.
I don't even have sex like that.
No, for sure.
Often, it's maybe I went maybe 2-3 years without sex, and I got into exotic dancing because that's the only place right now. And I have a bachelor's degree that I know that I can make.
You went to college and became a stripper?
Yeah, I mean in Vegas, half the girls here. I'm fucking. Dude, I'll introduce you to 2 PhDs that work at fucking Sapphire right now.
That's kind of a college track.
It's so much money. Yeah.
So just ignore him.
Pay for
it's like a woman.
Anywhere that I can make.
By the way, Jen, I just subscribed to your channel. You now have 400 subscribers. Congratulations.
Yeah, okay.
Guys, stop. Seriously, this is getting really bad.
You're a podcaster. You're a podcaster faster with 400 subscribers. Go check out Valuetainment.
Adam, hold on.
Stop. Jen,
Stop lying.
Jen, stop.
Stop lying, bitch. It's not 400. You got the wrong Jen.
Jen, stop. Stop. For fuck's sake. Go ahead.
I mean, respectfully, I'm on her side. This dude's kind of an asshole.
He is.
No, because I'm telling the truth. It's funny.
Let her finish.
I've only been an asshole
Let her finish. Let her finish.
And the girl that got offended that I wouldn't wipe up a stripper.
You're an asshole.
No one else
the
I've
way
been
that
offended.
you're doing it. You don't have
because
to be
they're treating you like a girlfriend.
Okay, stop.
You have feminine energy.
All right, wait, Jen.
Here's what'll happen.
Down, Jen.
Everyone's treating him like a girl.
Jen, we're stopping down the whole show, Jen. So please stop.
Here's what's gonna happen. I'll go back after this and keep going on with an amazing career, and I'll never remember your ugly ass again.
And you think I'll remember you?
And you're gonna probably take all these clips.
You think I'll remember you?
Yes, because if you want clout, you'll take these clips.
Jen, stop.
400 subscribers.
Adam.
Jen.
I'm a dozen.
Oh no, I'm not.
Yes, you are. You're a tool.
He's not.
Multi-millionaire, 6 foot network. No.
You're
Hey, hold on. Adam, don't respond to her. Don't respond to her. Jen.
I'm having fun.
No, I know.
I'm gonna clean my toilet.
Hold on.
Men don't know how to clean toilets.
You look like my man.
Clean your toilet.
Who's the whore that you're talking
You're
about?
a tool.
Hey, can we get back to Super Chats, please?
Yeah,
Can we
we
go
got
back to
Super
Super
Chats.
about her.
Not even
Let's go back to Super
Jen.
Chats. Back to Super Chats.
Dime a dozen.
By definition, no.
Back to Super
Turn
Chats.
down the Puerto Rican.
Hey, hold on. Look, Amber, like Jen, you got to stop doing that. Seriously, I know he's done some, but like you are tripling down with the insults, and it's not productive. And
Because
stopping
now
up.
he's picking on her. He's an asshole.
He isn't. She just called him an asshole. Just to be fair.
And by the way, I'm totally cool with the asshole label.
That's fine.
It's like
I want to let Arya finish.
Right.
And
Arya, go.
guys, I don't mind if you have like logical conversations about it. For you to say that he's a dime a dozen is kind of ridiculous. You need to see his
He
show.
is a dime a
He is not a dime a dozen.
He's a dime a
He's not a dime a dozen. and
I'm a
his-
dime a
he's
dozen.
not- hold on.
You have sex with homeless women.
Stop. Jen, he's not a dime a dozen, and his girlfriend's not a whore. Those are two things that are objectively not true.
Not even my girlfriend. But
will make him look like he's homeless.
Okay, stop.
The text.
All right, we got it.
Who does that?
Jen, come on, for fuck's sake, Jen.
You're a tool.
We need to move on with the fucking
Turn down the Puerto Rican. Thank you very much.
Okay, go ahead. Arya, finish what you were saying.
What are we talking about?
We were talking about how being an exotic dancer can cause you to have a label. Because here's the thing. Here's the thing. I used to manage a strip club, and I'm fully aware of the situation where women would be in a situation where they'd be physically attractive, physically fit. They'd actually made a pretty decent living, and in a lot of cases, they were good mothers to their children, even though they were dancing. All these things were true, but men still held it against them. And here's the reason why, because you were going to ask before. There's this thing called, so for instance, if I repeatedly, if you go into military training, if you're repeatedly under live fire, the first time your heart rate's like 140, you're like, what the fuck? And then after a while, after you're under live fire, because they practice with live fire sometimes, what'll happen is you'll get down to like in the 80s, your heart rate will go down. After the 5th or 6th time you jump out of an airplane, it's not even super, it's still exciting. It's always exciting, but it's not super exciting. You get immersed to it and you start to lose the ability to connect. You could lose the ability to connect with a man if you're constantly in physical contact with other men, and that physical contact, that physical intimacy has been transmuted into you receiving money. Does that make sense? I'm trying to be as non-biased as possible. One more time, Kirsten, it's called a microphone.
But don't wouldn't the same concept apply to men that you just have an abundance of pussy, that they would lose the value and connection?
So here's the thing. There's been studies on this, and it doesn't seem to be the case. Men who have high body counts tend to be able to be happy in relationships. Women with high body counts have a harder time to do it, and it has to do with oxytocin and their ability to pair bond and connect. Men can separate sex from intimacy. So that's the issue. I'm not trying to make you feel bad, but my whole thing is, if it's a consistent, this is what's happened with me with the girls that I knew that were strippers. When they stopped stripping, they became so much hornier because all of a sudden they can now, physical intimacy meant sex with a partner as opposed to physical intimacy was something they tolerated in order to receive money.
Also,
you see
do
how
you
you
think
can
that like
hypnotize
men
that?
like are about like the social status of like that's mine and nobody has access to what mine is?
For sure.
And when they go and dance or they do like OnlyFans or something like that, or it's like now other people have access to what is mine.
I just think it just spoils it somewhat, doesn't it? If thousands of guys, and no disrespect, but if thousands of dudes have seen your girl, your wife naked, I mean that kind of just takes the edge off it somewhat, doesn't it? I mean,
then what do you think about porn actors? They get married. They marry.
But it's hard. But it's very difficult.
Just so happens we have a professional here.
I can speak on that. I've been waiting to speak on that. So, The thing is, when you're a sex worker,
I'm very respectful of your profession, by the way.
Thank you, much appreciated. So the thing is with men and sex workers, it's like, you know, when you're a sex worker, you have to take the tougher skin of accepting what role you take and accept. Because it's a scarlet letter. Whether you do porn, whether you dance and all that other stuff, that's something of yourself you give up. So your selection of men is going to be a lot more slimmer because men want a slut, but they're slut. And the thing is, it's like, you know, some men are freaky. They like girls that are freaky. Like, I'm a very polyamorous woman. Like, I'll go to a swinger party and I'll fuck like half the people there. I don't give a shit. I do condoms. I test regularly, but you know what? Sex is fun. But the thing is like, a lot of people don't think that way either because of, you know, people being indoctrinated, ideologies, you know, influence of friends, television, media, all this other shit. But the thing is, like, men want what's theirs and what a lot of other people haven't had. Because it's sacred to men. Because it's like, as women and stuff, you know, we want to think like, oh, you know, we're pretty. We can get this man. We can get that man. And, you know, like, we use ourselves as a weapon. And, you know, men aren't really into that. Men want someone that's a housewife. They don't really like, most men don't want a hoe as a housewife. Me, I have a high mileage vagina. I want a high mileage dick. So
I can't even write this shit.
But you know what the thing is? You gotta own what the fuck you do. You gotta own what you do because, you know, there's the thing. I won't have respect for an escort that hides what she does. I have respect for an escort that's like, yeah, I'm a fucking hoe, so what? I pay my bills. You gotta own your shit, girl.
Okay, that really. While I do appreciate your honesty.
Period.
I do appreciate your honesty, Tiffany. The issue goes back to the thing is like where the judgment comes from. As men, we get our validation from a different place than what women do. A lot of times with women,
bingo.
A lot of times for women, their validation is going to come from attention. They're going to get a lot of attention. This is why women can have several guy friends who just give them a ton of attention, orbiters, whatever. And when I worked at a strip club, this might not be the same for you, but I noticed the mood of the women changed as they were tipped more on stage, as they made more money. And when they made less money, their mood would be worse. So they were literally getting attention and validation for their physical attractiveness. And that validation is something that worked for them, that made them feel good. For men, our validation isn't just the sex that we have with women, but it's the fact that woman has a genuine desire for us and chooses to have sex with just us. Yeah. That's the difference. And so while I know you're not having sex with your clients at work, the issue is you understand what happens is over time, you're going to start, your body just starts to transmute physical touch from a man as being, oh, this is work. Do you see what I'm saying? And it may have trouble with intimacy. And the other thing is, like he said before, like there's a level of, hey, this is mine. For men, it's like the physical. Again, when women, when men cheat, women ask, "Do you love her?" When women cheat, men ask, "Did you fuck him?" That's our main thing. Is like for women, the cheating tends to be the lying, and for men, the cheating. In case you ladies didn't know this, the cheating is the fucking penetration. That is the cheating. Oh, but I just gave him a blowjob. That is going inside you. That is the cheating. For us, that's the way it works. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So because our validation comes from sex, and your validation may come from attention, for these other men getting to see, it's almost like I've heard women say this before. Like they'll do porn, and then they'll be in a regular relationship, and they'll be like, well, you know, I fucked this guy on the porn set, but I didn't even enjoy it. And I'm like, well, he enjoyed it. He didn't fucking, the guy fucked you, enjoyed it. You see what I'm saying? So now it's not special for us, which is why I would never tolerate a relationship where my girlfriend was sleeping with someone else. If it's a girl I'm seeing and she sleeps with someone else, not my business. I'm not looking. I'm a 22-year-old kid. I don't fucking know.
There are people that are into that though.
For sure, but that's a different proclivity, and I think most of those men are bisexual. But I'm not going to get into that right now.
It's also a fairly small sector of people. Let's be honest. But I think it comes back to the demand and supply thing, doesn't it?
Yes.
Like ultimately, you know, a guy values a woman more when he feels like the supply is scarce. In fact, he wants the supply to be limited to him alone. It's certainly during the period of that relationship.
Yes.
So again, if the woman's been naked in front of thousands of dudes, that's gonna somewhat take the edge off it for a majority of guys. Not for every guy, but a lot of guys are going to feel that way. I personally, you know, it depends what you want. If you're not fucking dating, if you're not looking to get into a serious relationship, as Michael said, it doesn't matter so much. You know, I'm not looking for anything serious. So for me, none of this stuff really fucking matters. But, you know, for those guys who are looking to wife someone up or to get into a long-term thing, it's going to be a concern
Yeah.
for many of them.
Let me add one thing to this because I think there's one aspect, and by the, I think we're like, I don't know, is this a coaching strategy? Or is it like, you know?
No, it's just Aria's my friend, and I want the best for her, and I want Aria to find an awesome dude.
All right, I think Michael hit the nail on the head from like a female perspective. You know, compensation, how money basically is your biggest driver, and how you're tipping and all that. But I think there's one thing that we've left out is, especially if there's the type of guy you want. Okay, now if the type of guy you want is like a successful business guy, entrepreneur, has a company, hangs out with super successful Fortune 500 CEO type guys, all right? Like, so if that's the kind of guy you want, that guy is going to have a very hard time coping and recognizing the fact that, oh, this is my girlfriend, the stripper. That guy's gonna have a very hard time with that. I'm sorry if I'm hurting your feelings.
At the same time,
it doesn't hurt my feelings.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
But I'm just letting you know that guy is not gonna feel comfortable. He's like, hey mom, this is Candy, the stripper. You know, hey
but what
grandma.
you guys are saying is you want an attractive woman that's high profile and gets a lot of men, but is exclusive to you.
No, that's not what we're saying.
Yeah, because you want a beautiful woman. Like you want a beautiful woman. You don't think that
you threw in high profile.
She doesn't have to be high
profile. Kirsten, most guys would want a girl who's lower profile.
I know, but when I speak of a woman being high profile, I'm not speaking career, money. I'm speaking like is a dime, is a model.
So would you say physically attractive?
Yeah,
that's physically attractive. It's not high profile.
Yeah, because every guy wants to be with her, but yet you want her to be exclusive to you.
Yep.
But yet then you guys use your status as, well, this is just a part of life, but then what about your character should come into play? You should also be exclusive to the girl you're with. That has nothing to do with status.
That's a totally separate conversation that has nothing to do with this thing.
No, because it's a double standard.
Do you know why the double standard exists? Because women want men that can protect them.
But men don't do that. Men do
that.
No, but it's more than that. It's more than that. It's more than that. Women want men who've been pre-selected by other women. Okay, and that's why the double standard that you're talking about. That's why it exists, because women don't really want a fucking male virgin, do they? Would anyone here want to bang a virgin guy? You know what I'm saying?
I like my dick with high mileage.
I do too.
I like a motherfucker that knows what he's doing.
Yes. But you know, also there's two things.
All right.
We're dating. I hope that I'm not stripping anymore. Like, I hope that we're getting
that was my next point. Most of the time when I see guys start dating a stripper, the first thing they do is like, hey, you're pull them out.
Yeah, like I don't want
rescue
you
you from the burning house.
Rescue me. I mean, hopefully,
but
right?
It's going to take a very unique type of guy that will be able to even deal with that. And you're
Somebody
a sweet girl and you're a pretty girl. That guy's going to have. It's beyond secure. Secure is
I don't think it's secure, Aria. I think it's a preference. Like, we can have a preference. It's not that we're not insecure enough to deal with the fact that you're stripping. It's that I have other options. If I'm a high status man, every day I have options.
Women have other options.
Correct.
That's why you don't like beautiful women have just as many options as a multi-million-dollar man.
Yeah, but how good are those options?
But seriously, but
you can have. There's hot dog vendors on the street serving you up dick left.
Kirsten, I'm not saying that they don't. I don't think they. I do agree that they have options. I disagree with you on how many of those options are high status men that they would be attracted to and would stay for a long-term relationship. I think it is much lower than you think. Much. In fact, we could do the delusional calculator and I can show you. It's about like 14 to 1.
Don't want them to stay.
The problem isn't getting the man; it's keeping the man.
Yeah,
that's the woman's challenge. It's so easy to get in.
Any one of you guys
I can get any man I want. Any man. I can call 5 right now and I can fuck them all tonight if I wanted to.
Oh yeah.
But can I keep them? No.
But you can shoot content with them and make a lot of money.
I can make a lot of money. She has 401k, 4 Airbnbs. She's making that cheese, bro.
Give me your name one more time.
Money.
Tiffany Fox.
Tiffany, take a second and really explain what you just said to these women. Because this, I think, is the cornerstone of what these women don't understand. Any of these girls could walk outside right now, and they'd have hot dog vendors trying to serve them a salami.
It's
no
so
problem.
easy to get
but
men.
how many of these men that they want would keep them around?
Forever alone.
Exactly. Tiffany, go ahead and explain that one more time for the women.
Oh, sorry. I'm okay. I'm comfortable. I know what lane I'm in.
And Rollo literally wrote a book about this, about attaining versus retaining.
Yeah.
Explain
I'm sure that half
please.
of us women know what the fuck she's saying.
I don't know about this.
And you got the intellect to understand what I'm saying, then you got the intellect. If
you didn't understand what Literally,
you got to read more books if you don't understand what I'm saying.
I totally hear what you're saying.
No, he wants you to reiterate. He agrees with us.
I agree with what you're saying.
Who realistically here wants to be married and take care of a man? Who realistically wants to be married and take care of a man?
If you're married,
you have to take care of him.
I wouldn't be married, but he'll be taking care of me.
Right.
No, but you have to take care of him. He needs head on tap. He needs his dinner. He needs his
women want man to take care of them, but what do you have to offer the man to do that?
Say it has to go both fucking ways. You can't just be like, oh, suck my fucking big toe.
But you said
what is he taking?
that the woman should focus on keeping the man. Do you not think the man should be focused on keeping the woman?
A lot of millennials, the generation does not know how to cook or clean because we have lost the touch. Well, good for you, but we have lost the touch of gender roles. Traditional gender roles because a lot of women don't know how to cook. A lot of women don't know how to clean. When I tell a guy I know how to cook, I'm Italian. I talk with my hands. Leave me alone. But it's like when I tell a man I can cook. Oh, I can cook Mexican. I can cook Italian. I can cook Asian food. I can cook this. They're like, oh my God, you can cook. And I'm like, why is this surprising?
Surprising, right?
But the thing is, all these women that want like A through Z don't know how to cook. Don't know how to clean, and then not only that, they'll be a terrible mother to raise a child. And the thing is, it's like, yeah, there are successful relationships in porn, without a doubt. I know a number of them. But you know what? That chance of them actually having that perfect person, us being beautiful in the sex work industry and stuff, we can get any guy we want. That's easy. That is so easy. We can get any hot guy we walk up to at the club tonight. But will he call us back? Probably not. And you know what the thing is? It's hard facts. You too. It's not just sex work. Any woman. It's hard to keep a fucking man because men have so many options. A new bitch turns 18 every single fucking day.
High value man have options. But just to slightly
even the players
just to slightly play devil's advocate here. Are we being a little bit dystopian? In her case because. There are plenty of dudes out there who probably would. I mean, there's a lot of, let's say, quote unquote blue pill guys out there, right? We're making out like everybody's going to have this super high standard. I think there's a lot of guys, who I mean, she's a beautiful woman, she's intelligent, she's cool, everything else. There's going to be a lot of guys who are gonna sort of. Take her on, aren't there? I think.
Yeah, but I don't think Arya is going to be attracted to them long
term. But you don't believe that they would be high value enough.
No, it's not that they're high value. I just like the problem is, and I've seen this with women.
But you know what I'm saying, though, Michael. There's going to be some dudes who are going to be like, yeah, I'll let it.
So my issue is, I've seen this with girls before who have like a low self-esteem. A guy will sit there and try to wife them up, and the first question they're asking is like, why would this? What's wrong with this guy who wants to wife me up if I'm low? If I have low value? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I've seen women, not you, but I've seen women literally say, why would this guy want to be with me long term if I'm a stripper? I've actually heard women say that before. There must be something wrong with him for him to be like that. And then you get the 6-month ick. That's where the 6-month ick comes from. It's like, why is this guy willing to wife me up when I have all these fucking problems? This guy must not have any options, right? And that's essentially what goes on.
I want to clarify one more thing here too, because I know I've seen too many guys who are coming at the red pill right now talking shit about like, well, Rolo says this about the wall, and these guys say this about the wall, and it's this idea, and we can actually bring this full circle to the Barbie movie here too, is that women's agency, their primary agency in life is their sexuality, and that has a use by date. Okay, it has an expiration date on it, and that's not to, for some women it's longer, for some women it's shorter. Okay, so if you let yourself go, if you go, I always say this is the experiment. When any of you go back through Las Vegas airport from TSA to your gate, turn off your fucking phone, put it in your pocket, and look at the people. Just people watch.
Go to Walmart.
From TSA
Go to Walmart.
to your gate. That's a good cross-section of the American public. That's average people. That's normal people. They don't have these problems. They're not thinking about Access Vegas or Fresh and Fit or anything like that. That's fucking normal people right there. So when we're talking about what makes you a whore, what makes you a good housewife, what makes you whatever, this is not something that gets thrown out there. But when I talk about the wall, it's not, the wall doesn't start here physically. Like, you're going to be 38 years old very, very soon here, right? Gorgeous. I love you like a sister, okay? But she, absolutely stunning. And I have to like be careful of like even just like retweeting your stuff, because people will think like I'm simping for her. We're like have this sort of, we have this back and forth banter and stuff like that. But she's 38 years old. according to like the simp pill or according to the black pill, she's already well past the wall, and nobody wants to have her. You know, and no eggs left in the fucking egg carton.
With that being said,
whatever.
you would simp over her regardless of her age because you have more respect for her than a young 21-year-old bimbo.
But here's the thing:
so it's about a respect.
Yeah, we don't.
thing.
You're wrong about that, Kirsten. It's not correct.
It wouldn't matter. It wouldn't matter.
So you would treat some young 21-year-old bimbo the same as like a full-grown, respectable adult woman.
I am dating a 21-year-old girl right now, and she's not a bimbo.
So here's
because you respect her. She's not a bimbo.
Let me explain
right?
something
I'm
to
not
you.
saying all 21-year-olds are bimbos.
Hold on. Let me explain something to you here really quickly, though. Okay, so the thing is when I'm talking about the wall, I'm not talking about the physical side. I'm talking about the mental side. The wall starts here for women. It doesn't start here. Okay, so I know what is it? Jamie Villamore. How old is she? Like 42 years old.
41 or 42.
Absolutely, she could like compete in like Fitness USA, like and probably does compete in Fitness USA stuff. Absolutely attractive. Any guy would say she's up in the 8 or 9, range for that. Okay, but she's 42. So is she past the wall or is she not past the wall?
I think psychologically she has different interests, but physically, yes.
She's changed. So when people say, "Oh, these guys think that if you go, anything past 23, suddenly you hit the wall," no, that's not what we're saying. What we're saying is it begins right here. Can the 28-year-old version of CJ compete with the 38-year-old CJ in the same sexual marketplace? And the answer is no, it can't, because men seek beauty and fertility. That's why. Not that you're a bad person. Not that
it's a microphone.
It's not about personal worth.
I think a lot of respectable men look for respectable women, and then there are the categories of men that just want to get fucked by young hot girls that are.
It's a good category.
The category of men. Do you mean all men?
I've met a lot of like doctors and lawyers
who are willing to lie to you to have sex with you, Kirsten. That's what's going on.
It's their character that they have. They treat women a certain way. When you're truly abundant in something, you don't care about it because it comes to you and flows to you easily.
Men say
that's why men that just fall into pussy all the time. They're not truly abundant in pussy, or they wouldn't treat pussy that way.
Great observation, but completely incorrect in this situation.
It's a very nice reframing, isn't it, of the reality?
Well,
it's like astrology.
Well, so here's the thing, though. I got you. Thanks, Glenn. But see, here's the thing: is when I think on some level of understanding, on some level of consciousness, women understand that their sexual agency, the things that make them very, very powerful when they're 23, is something that they can't compete with when they are 33 or when they're 43 or when they're 53. And the reason I say this, and I'm going to bring this all the way back to fucking Barbie, is in the Barbie fucking movie. When they're not human and they're Barbies, they're smooth plastic and they don't have dicks and they don't have cooters or anything like that. And that's part of the movie. Just a spoiler alert. Yeah. That is part of the movie until the very end of the movie. And what happens?
She gets
Margot Robbie gets a cooter, and that is the cherry. No pun intended. That's the cherry on top.
I'm here to see my gynecologist.
Exactly. And so saying once again, reinforcing symbolically that women's power comes from their pussies.
Yes.
That's what it is saying. So now do you understand in a symbolic way when we're looking at Barbie, it's basically reinforcing and backing up everything the fucking red pill has said from day fucking one, is that women's primary agency is their sexuality. That's why suddenly at the end of Barbie, she has a pussy.
Women are born with their power.
Sounds like a documentary. Barbie sounds like a documentary.
It pretty much is. It's certainly an allegory.
Again, I actually was so interested in watching it because I saw the multiple levels, and I'm like, how did this get greenlit by a studio? That was always what I was asking. And then at the end, it's like it was parody, and then it got serious, and I was like, uh-oh, that's not fair. You can't do parody for kids, fun, neon, fun pink Barbie, fun for kids, and then here we go with the indoctrination.
Yes, it's ideology smuggling.
That's technical 2 ejection. That's a fucking foul right
ideology
there.
I was asking, is it really a kids movie though? Because from what I've seen, exactly. So to my daughter, she sees Barbie, she thinks, "Oh, mom, take me to the Barbie movie."
Yes,
from what I've seen, and I haven't seen it, but what I've seen in the clips that I've seen. Absolutely not, and I've already told her we're not going to see it.
It's marketed to kids. That's maybe a better way to say it.
And that's what I'm trying to explain to her. She's like, "But it's Barbie." But I get it.
at its core, but it's PG-13, right? It's PG-13.
It shouldn't be. There's like no profanity at all. There's nothing. There's no nudity. There's no profanity. There's some old adult content, but like themes, but it's like nothing. It's like nobody dies. Nothing happens.
We got it. We're at time right now.
Okay.
I got to get to these super chats. One's from Glenn Lawrence in the back there. Says any woman who supports the Barbie movie is not marriageable. Thank you for your support. Shout out to Rolo and Troy. Sosnick is on fire this show. Mike, I hope you're taking notes from Adam.
I am. I take notes from Adam all the time.
I take notes from Michael.
I take notes from Adam every day.
Let's see. Jerry RN. Feel sorry for the homeless man. Jen probably great. Thank
Jen,
you.
you're never gonna live that down.
Got it. Jen has become the man she wanted to marry.
You damn right, baby.
Yes.
You damn right.
You're proud of that.
And thank you very much. I am well aware that Brittany Venti, the small 26-year-old going on 12, is I'm well aware of her neuroses. Okay. Out of pocket. Sauce, I feel your pain, brother. This is why Nat is your right hand woman. Okay, we already got to that part. The other one was, I know. This was actually a question for you, Adam. How do you go about picking the show topics for Saucecast?
How do we go about?
Yeah,
We can just go through the news.
About who comes on and what the subjects are and the topics are.
Yeah, it's finance and romance. So we pick money topics. We pick relationship.
Is that
topics,
like you or like the people at Valuetainment
we
or
have,
who else?
We have writers. We have producers that help us.
Fuck, man. I wish
shout out to those guys.
I wish we had money like that. Writers and producers.
We have writers and producers.
They send cars for you
we
too.
We also
bro.
have people that clean janitors. So if there's someone here in a red shirt that's looking for a job,
your girlfriend. Your girlfriend.
You know exactly what he was going to say.
There it is.
He's a bitch. Of course he's
Man, now I feel like we're the redneck trailer park version of this show.
All right, keep going.
That's it. You got
more? Beautiful. Real quick, Kirsten, what do you think about the show? I'm going to get everybody's opinion. What do you think about the show, Kirsten?
I think it's great. Lots of good, controversial opinions.
Okay,
Yeah.
beautiful. Darling Jen, what did you think about the show?
It was fun, and I have 4,000 followers, not 400. Bitches can't count.
Okay, that's good.
Well, I have 4 million, so my bad.
There we go. Go ahead.
Okay, how many did you buy? How many did you buy?
I think the show's been fucking awesome, and I think there's a lot to learn here, guys, if you watch this through again, because there's been a lot of gems about male-female dynamics here. And basically, don't be a fucking nice guy. You've got to fucking bring a bit of that into it. That's what it comes down to.
I agree.
And Arya, your opposite opinion? Go ahead. What do you think?
It's not an opposite opinion. It was fun. I had a fun time.
Good. I would love to have you back on, okay? Good to have you, Arya. CJ, happy birthday, honey.
Thank you. In my opinion, there was too many people.
There's too many people? Okay, we'll do it. Yeah. Hey, can I be honest with you, guys?
Nobody in particular,
Always 3 girls bail. Every single episode.
You have to overbook.
And you have to overbook. And then nobody bail. I know, but Allie, I knew you weren't going to bail. That's why I wanted you. And I also highly respect your opinion, Allie Adams.
And I think also dogs should always come too.
Yeah, we should always have dogs.
I'll bring mine next time.
Yeah. Michelle, Brittany Martin, what
that is
what do you think about
officially
the show?
shop dog of
It's my
Access
second
Fitness.
time on here. I like it. It's fun. The first time I got a little talkative and a little drunk, but this
That was
time
perfect. Not as talkative as Gia Mia did.
Oh my goodness.
Tiffany Fox, what do you think?
I always have fun giving my 2 cents.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I thought you did really good. You had a lot more knowledge than what I was expecting.
Yeah, you're a very unique character, by the way.
I love being the one that surprises people, because people are like, oh God, she's a porn star from California.
Tell us more.
Do you have an OnlyFans? Do you have an OnlyFans? I'd love to have you on my show.
I would love to come on your show.
Oh.
But I live in Miami.
You like to come on your show?
You live in Miami?
I live in Miami.
So you have to come on my show.
I would love to come on your show, sir.
We're going to come all over.
He means appear on the show. He means appear on the show. It's whatever.
He said he knows exactly what he said.
Okay, Hillary. What? Hillary.
This was fucking fantastic. It was my first time. I was a little bit nervous, but here I am.
Okay, beautiful. Ashley.
She was very nervous, but she was the #1 person to add her 2 cents. It was amazing. Thanks, y'all. I was like, you're awesome.
Oh, thank you.
Yes. Adam in the house.
Mr. Sosnick, tell me, how was your experience?
I would say that it's a lot more fun not hosting the show.
Isn't it?
And just because as a host, you can't really tell these girls what's up because you want them to come back again.
Of course.
Right? So if the young lady Michelle right here, if you had something that you want to get off your chest to her, you might not say it because you want her to come back because you want to have girls. But I don't give a fuck who comes back on this show.
Yeah. So everyone in the chat is like, Adam is savage on this.
So there is a difference between hosting a show and being more of a gentleman versus savage mode. But more importantly, I have so much respect for what you guys are doing. And Troy was just on my show last week. He's an absolute G. And congratulations to you two.
Number one podcast in Las Vegas.
Let's go.
Thank you very much.
Thank you to the 1,500 people that we're on 3 channels right now. The 1,500 people that are watching still at this point at 3 hours.
Nice.
Yeah, not even a year later.
Yep.
Can I give a quick plug?
Sure.
So if anybody out there in the chat is a fan of Valuetainment, we're doing a massive event at the end of the month, September 1st in Miami. It's called The Vault. Tom Brady speaking, Mike Tyson speaking, PBD, Patrick Bet-David, myself, Squad. Maybe Michael Sartain will show up. And,
really? I can't believe I'd be invited to that. That'd
check that out, guys. It's called The Vault, and we put it on at Valuetainment. Check it out.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Depends on what you mean by come.
Okay, ready? Stephanie.
I thought it was amazing. I'm proud of everybody for actually speaking up and saying what they feel, but I was much more talkative than other times. A lot of people tend to sit back, so proud of you guys.
Cool. Allie Adams.
I love it. It's my second time on here with you, and I think it's great. I think more people need to debate topics like this. I think it opens people's eyes from different views, and you learn a little bit.
Awesome. Rollo?
Penny, what did you think?
She got stressed. You guys stressed her the fuck out. You stressed her out. She's like, I ain't ever coming back.
What's that?
The emotional support dog.
The emotional support dog, yes. So we finally got a shop dog for Access Vegas. Fresh and Fit have Hero, and I guess we needed one. So, anyways, I think it's about it. We're doing good.
Cool.
I've got Rule Zero is on Saturday at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Was it?
Tomorrow, 1 p.m.
Oh, yes. I was going to say, on my channel, we're going to be doing a sort of a Rule Zero, like, unplugged or after party, I guess, at Jabrizi Studio, or Red One Studio now. And we're going to have Red Pill Thor. We're going to have Troy here with us. And who else is going to be on there? And you, of course. Yeah, and myself. So it'll be what 4/10 of Rule Zero will be on.
Mike, you're free.
What time of the day is it?
It's going to be when you wake up.
When I wake up, so
when
4
you wake
p.m.?
up,
It's going to be at 4 p.m.?
At 4 p.m.
Is that what time you wake up?
Yeah. No, I should also
I get
say
all sorts of weird texts to me. I'm waking up at 6 a.m. This guy's texting me. I'm like,
we now have exclusive access to the studio that's at the apartment now. So that's we're going to be doing a lot more content
Shout
from
out to
there
Glenn
as
out
well.
there.
And it's great, man, because it's got it's basically an apartment, and it's got a place to do shoot content all over the place.
There's just like a bed in there.
Yeah, the bed is like
right now.
Yeah. Yes.
I'll tell you where it is later. We don't want to
you'll love it.
We're not going to dox ourselves.
We're going to bring you there.
It's not in Tahoe, is it?
No, but you should come up to Lake Tahoe. And by the way, I invited everybody else. If they want to come to Tahoe, they can. I'll be in there.
You kicked me out.
Oh, and we are.
I want to stay at the house with everybody.
I know. You got to stay in the bunk bed, though. Okay.
That's fine. I already said I would.
All right. So we will be back on the 17th.
Yeah, so we're going to do Thursday the 17th. We're going to do this again. One more time, guys. If you are interested in coming to Babes in Toyland charity at On the Record, it is going to be for Foster Friday Foundation. That is a charity that raises money for all the homeless animals in Clark County. It's all right.
I'm going to be hosting.
We're going
to.
Can I?
We're going to be doing. Sorry, I just saw something that came unseen. We're going to be doing that on the 24th. On the 25th, that next day at noon or at 1 p.m. is going to be the final preliminary for the Girls of Summer bikini competition, $60,000 bikini competition. If you guys are interested in coming to that, please let us know. And then the finals, we will do another September 7th, Access Vegas, and then September 9th will be our finals where we give our winner $6,000.
Before we end the show, I have to a moment of silence, please. A moment of silence.
I can't believe we're reading
show some respect. Japanese porn star. This just in. Japanese porn star drowns in semen while filming a bukkake scene.
There you go.
There is a tragic sense of grief today.
Good night.
Japan's all done.
Good night, people. Good night, everyone.
Note that. Goodbye.
That's